Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Tonight, we're going to be doing my 81st Chill and Chat live on a Sunday evening, talking home arcade with you guys out there in the home arcade community. Let's get it started. I want to bring in two special guests that we have tonight. We have kevgret and we have Brooklyn Menace. We're going to definitely be talking some VR tonight. How's it going tonight, gentlemen?
It's going great, Biggie D. Happy to be here.
Good. How you doing, kevgret?
Yo, first time in the Biggie D's Arcade. Thanks for having me, my man. I know we've been trying to get on the show, and this
Yeah,
is a
first
perfect
time.
topic to bring us on. You got two of the VR veterans, so we're very excited to talk some VR with the crowd tonight.
I had your good friend Rexer on last week for the first
Yeah,
time as well.
You're getting the better half this week.
So just kind of start with the show tonight, guys. I want to kind of start with some home arcade discussion, and then we'll get into VR towards the end. But I wanted to start off because we're in 2024. We're about to be out of 2024 into starting in the next year, and there's been some products come out. I'll typically do this towards the end of the year where I'll talk about the best or worst products. And I'll normally talk about Arcade One Up. I'm also going to be talking about AtGames tonight as well because they've had a lot of stuff come out this year. And I just kind of want to also get you guys and your opinion on what you think about these products that came out. Which ones specifically do you think were the best? And which ones do you think were the worst? And let's just start with Arcade One Up. Let's get right into it. And we only had 4 cabinets, really arcade cabinets, released this year from them, which is not typical. Normally we would see them do, 8, 10 cabinets in a year. We only got 4. And these were not new. These were all rehashes or re-releases of cabinets we've already seen. The X-Men 97, the NBA Jam, the Golden Tee 3D, and the Pac-Man Plus. Now, for you guys, of these 4, which one would you say was the best and which one was the worst of 2024 for Arcade One Up, and why? And you can start, Brooklyn.
I would say it's a toss-up as far as the two best is going to be the Marvel vs. Capcom, even though it's another rehash and they kind of dropped the ball a little bit on the skin. They definitely could have done a better job on it. And the Golden Tee, it's kind of like hard to decide between two of those being the best. You know what? I might just go for the Golden Tee as being the best of the year, but not and we're not talking about the Golden Tee that mashup cabinet that they did, because that thing is awful.
Oh yeah. I did leave that one out, and I'm glad you brought that up because we did have that Kotsko edition. It was kind of like a multi-cade, which had the Golden Tee, had a bunch of like other games like Sinistar on it. I did not include that one, so I'm glad you brought it up. So let's include that in the best and worst of 2024. If we include that one as well, are you still saying Golden Tee's the best of the 5?
If I was including that, I would pick Golden Tee as far as personal preference on what out of these and what I'd play. But yeah, if that one was on the list too, that would be the worst. But coming in a close second would be the new NBA Jam.
NBA Jam, okay. And what would you say would be the worst of 2024 for Arcade One Up this year?
The worst definitely this year was that mashup cabinet they did the Midway and the Golden Tee. I mean, the design choices on that cabinet were awful. The control placements, the way that they expected you to play the Midway games on there, it was just terrible. The only thing that looked decent on that cabinet was the Marquee, but other than that, it just made no sense.
Yeah,
they're trying to make you play retro games with a control scheme that doesn't match the games at all. So like, why bother doing it? And I think some of the choices that they made on that cabinet for placement of the controls was to give you enough space to play Golden Tee without bumping into like the other controllers. But the second player side is worthless. Your right hand where the buttons are, you're hanging off the edge of the cabinet.
Did you ever
And
get a chance to play it? Like, did you go into Costco and play one, or do you have a friend that has one?
when they were first coming around and everybody was trying to spot them, I'm not a member of Costco, but I was passing one day and I was like chatting with the guys. I was like, I'm gonna try to see if I can get in there and see if they have one, but they didn't have one in my area.
Okay. Yeah, see, I got a chance to go with P-Dub's Arcade Loft, and we went to a Costco and got to play those there. And I mean, it was okay. Like, Sinistar played all right on it, but there wasn't a lot of room for your wrist on the joystick and the buttons. It also took away from the Golden Tee because you had all this other artwork on it, this collab artwork with multicade artwork, which kind of threw it off. And really, I'm just kind of like you. I would have rather just had a Golden Tee by itself.
Yeah.
And
One of
had
the
the
other
extra room
choices,
on the game deck
Biggie,
and the artwork.
on that cabinet, one of the choices that I did not understand was as far as the button placement for the midway games, like instead of like using buttons that would be naturally how you play it, to the straight ahead to the left and right, they expect you to like hit buttons and then go down on an angle. So if you're familiar with any of these games, it's almost like trying to relearn how to play them in this new style that they came up with.
Right. Yeah, and also, guys, I'm having some issue with the chat tonight. I don't know what's going on, but it shows restream chat, but it doesn't show Biggie D's arcade chat. So I'm not going to be able to, unfortunately, look like I'm going to be able to bring up the chats tonight. But I am watching my phone. I'm keeping an eye on it. It looks like Pixelated Traveler said, yo. Ted Adam Green said, hey, Biggie D, good to see you guys in the chat. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to bring y'all up. For some reason, it's not connecting. Restream's not connecting with YouTube tonight. Huge issue for me. I don't like that, but we'll work through it.
I can see the chat room. I got it right in front of me.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on my phone to see who's in the chat. So I'll definitely mention you guys as you include yourselves in the discussion tonight. Unfortunately, I won't be able to bring the chat up, though. And for you, kevgret, what would you say was the best and the worst arcade one-up of the four we see in this image, including the Kotsko Multicade Golden Tee?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Before we even get into it, Biggie and Brooklyn, can we just take a step back and look at this screen? You have four cabinets. You go back 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, you would have 20 cabinets on this picture. And it's just an indictment of how far Arcade One-Up has fallen and what we're getting. But come on, the worst has to be the Jam. I mean, that thing is a toothpick.
Yeah.
that thing is embarrassing. It's really a shame that they're not recognizing the aesthetics that they've come to establish as who they were. And the worst one is that midway cabinet, just for the same reason. Remember why people bought these back in the day? It was for the nostalgia, the form factor. It was the nostalgia of, oh, this looks like Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man. That thing looks like somebody made it in their basement. There's no nostalgia for that thing. It's I think Brooklyn says Frankenstein. It's horrible. It's unplayable, a bunch of those games. So you got to put that up there. And the best thing that I can say about Golden Tee 3D is that when I bought the original Golden Tee and I got it on a good deal for like Father's Day from Best Buy, the only thing good I can say about that is when I played that, I sold it and bought a real Golden Tee. Playing that made me buy a real Golden Tee because it's unplayable. Your hand smacks that thing. You can't get your putts. You can't get your drives. So it's like this is the fifth release. Did you have the
Gen 1 Golden Tee?
Yes, I had the original. And yeah, there's a little more room on here, Biggie, as far as putting your hand and but you've seen us play. You've seen the power you need to generate it. It's like no matter how you slice it, you're going to hit your hand on this thing.
The XL was a little better.
Yeah.
Then they went backwards with the deluxe, it seems like.
Totally.
They still get the slanted game deck, which is nice, but much smaller design. And did you watch James Hates Everything? He did a review. And I remember Rexer and you guys on your show were even had the broken hand at the beginning of your show to kind of highlight that you're going to definitely hit your hand on that screen.
Yeah, and it just takes you out of the gameplay, Biggie. I mean, the whole thing about Golden Tee is you're supposed to be one with the ball and have fun with it. And if you're subconsciously, when you pull back, you can't do your whole motion, then it just takes you out of the game. I mean, for that matter, play it on your Legends. because these games can be ported on your Legend with the same trackball and the same limitations. Why even at that point go for the form factor if you can't get it at least a little bit closer to the arcade authenticness of it? You know what I mean? So those two, in my opinion, are the worst. I think the X-Men 97, just because that artwork we haven't seen before. And I actually like the wood grain on the Pac-Man Plus. Call me whatever. But if you're giving me these four, Jam and Golden Tee in the Midway are the bottom three for sure.
Yeah. So if you had to pick a best and a worst, what are you going to choose? And include that multicade from Kotsko in there.
You know, you got to go NBA Jam is the worst. It's what everybody said it is, Biggie. It's like an arcade one-up on Ozempic. It's a toothpick. It's unplayable. It rattles. Corner arcades didn't even work when he bought it. It's like, what are they doing with this form factor? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So, right, like that has to be the worst. And that
was also the Casino Cade design.
That's
I would still bet money that if you have one of those and you peel the artwork off the side, you're going to see the Casino Cade artwork on there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
there was a theory they were cost cutting, and that's the reason we got that design.
Biggie, 100%. 100%. They didn't sell the Casino Cades. Nobody wanted those. So what happened is they had those. They had the parts left for it, and they're using it to make a new cabinet. That's why I was calling it a Frankenstein cabinet. They're just putting together leftover pieces, and then just throw in NBA Jam in there. It's a big seller. But so it makes no sense to do that because the previous NBA Jam that they did, I felt was the best one.
Yes, exactly. You're going backwards with your releases. That's the thing. If you're not going to iterate, everyone says, oh, it's Apple. You buy a new phone every year. Yeah, but those phones have advanced features every year. This cabinet has no advanced features from the last cabinet, which was arguably the best.
Yeah, it went backwards for sure. They did that deluxe. Are you talking about the 4-player deluxe NBA Jam?
Yeah, and that was the nicest one. Shack Jam is pretty nice in person. My friend has it, and I got to see it in person. However, we all know the issues with the screen on that. It just kind of like fades out if you're off to the left or the right. I just thought that last NBA Jam was the nicest design. And then all of a sudden, like, it's not even a year later, and they come out with this thing.
Yeah, that's how you know they have nothing left and these are just parts, because after that release of the deluxe, you wouldn't want to put out an NBA Jam like they're doing. It just shows you that there's no strategy in the company anymore. And they're like, listen, we got 10,000 Casino Cades. Well, we still have a license for Jam. Okay, can we just mesh them together and get them out there? That's, I think, what's going on over there. So, and it shows in the final product. There's nothing here that would make anybody go, this is better than, dude, even the original NBA Jam, which I owned, the 4-player, that was better than this. Yeah. So you're not iterating on any of the releases of your Jam, except
would you guys say that 2024, this has been the worst year for Arcade 1-Up since they've come out?
Come on. I mean, look at the screen.
Dude, it was crickets this year. There was like nothing that they put out had any kind of excitement to it at all.
No.
Anything that would have sparked my interest in the least.
Now, kevgret, what would you say was the best of the 5 arcades?
I mean, I'm just going to say Pac-Man, because you can't give it to MVC2 because that still has issues, right? I mean,
the MVC2 is pretty much unplayable online.
Yeah, so you have to go with your tried and true Pac-Man Plus, which is why they keep releasing it. Plus, I'm a sucker for the old school wood grain there, and I think that apron kind of lit up, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a Costco exclusive, right? I just by sheer default, Biggie in Brooklyn, I have to go with the Pac-Man Plus.
Yeah, now, I don't know if they improved where it lights up in the front, because on the original one, it was terrible when it lit up. It was all washed out.
It was washed out. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some more people that have joined the chat here. I'm going to just shout out everybody. Mike Hawkhurts is in the chat. Ojib, Marine 50, good to see you in the chat.
What's up, Marine?
Darren Kane, Fourth Horseman is in the chat. Good to see you, saying hello all. Hollywood Polo, good to see you, man. Steps Gaming is in the chat. She's saying the winner is Unico. I do have a poll up, guys, if you want to vote in that. We've got 20 votes so far. It says, which home arcade company had the best products in 2024? And right now, AtGames is leading with 48%, but a close second is Evercade with 38%. So that's going to be close between those two.
You would think I voted for Evercade. I actually voted for AtGames because I'm still not considering Evercade to really be solidly in the home arcade market until they put out a bigger cabinet. But if you were like talking about which company is doing the best as far as like retro nostalgia, then I would have picked Evercade. But I think as far as home arcade stuff, I had to give it to AtGames personally.
Yeah, I mean, AtGames is just killing it this year. They've kind of taken control of the home arcade market, releasing a bunch of stuff this year, similar to how Arcade 1-Up used to do business. And we're about to get into them. There are a couple more products Arcade 1-Up did release this year. Now, all these are rehashes, but what we're about to look at, these are actually new products. These are the claw machine and the photo booth. And I was thinking, they're Arcade 1-Up. Why are they releasing like a photo booth? But I kind of can see it. If you go into an arcade, a modern day one, you're going to see the photo booths.
How's that a photo booth though? And this is coming from someone that actually, I have a photo booth business, and how is that a photo booth?
It's not an actual booth. So I don't know why they would put that in the name. The claw machine, I guess it is similar. It looks like a claw machine, and it functions in the way of a claw machine. But the photo booth, it's definitely just something you mount on the wall. It's not something you're sitting in, and it doesn't have a cabinet design.
How does that even print out pictures? I'm assuming it does not print out good quality photos out of that thing.
It just prints out these little bitty photos.
Yeah, it's worthless.
And Biggie, that's been out for years. They just try to re-release it. That was out
I remember that from years ago.
Now you can go anywhere, guys, and get an exact version of that doesn't say Arcade 1-Up for like $100. They're not. They're not. They just
this one's
$300. I know that's the problem. You can get a nice cheaper version of that. I mean, I don't know the quality. I just ran into one I think on Woot.com the other day. It looked literally like this for like 100, 150, and I'm like, oh man, look at Arcade 1-Up marking this up. But yeah, they shouldn't call this a photo booth. They should just call it like a photo printer. Or I mean, I guess you can huddle in front of this thing and take your photo. I would love to see how that works, but
Now of these aren't arcades. These are like home arcade products, I guess you could say. The claw machine, the photo booth. Do you have any interest in either one of these? Are you going to pick either one of these up?
Come on, Biggie.
I thought the photo booth, when I started seeing it pop up, I was like, all right, it actually looks nice when it's lit up. But then when people started to get them, I did not realize just how shallow that thing is. It gives you the illusion because they put like the mirror back with the light. So, but if there's no space in that thing, the only thing that claw machine is good for is like if you got a bunch of plushies that you just want to store and have a cool light on in the background. But you tell me, Biggie, I mean, everybody was talking about this thing. It was, 100 videos a day, and now it's a few weeks later, it's crickets. Nobody
gives
a crap quality issues
anymore.
Have been a big issue with this thing. It breaking down and having to do all kinds of weird fixes to get it working again. Did you guys see all that coverage?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
I do appreciate all the crash test dummies in the community that pick these things up, so I don't have to.
I mean, did anybody not expect issues with this? They can't release what they do moderately well. And so they're going to do a new form factor.
They were already locking up on day one.
Day one, they were locking up. And that's why you don't see videos, guys, because it's the precious Arcade 1-Up. They're not going to expose the warts and all. They're only going to FOMO you to buy it and move on. That's the thing. So, you do not see a lot of videos on this. One, because I think the allure of it's going to wear off when you have to put your own plushies in there every 10 minutes when your kids are taking it out. There's it's just basically gambling with your own money. It's not fun after a while. So my guess is people got them. They had fun. Thanksgiving, people came over. And I think in a few months, they're going to be flooded on Marketplace. I mean, that's...
it is interesting how there was a lot of build up for it. And then the week it came out, you saw a lot of coverage on it, a lot of videos. But we haven't heard anything recently. It's like it died out quick.
It's a good background piece to store your plushies with a light. That's it. But to actually think you're going to use that thing and not get sick and tired of it after one day. And you can literally just reach up in the open door and just grab the stuff out of it.
Exactly. Like the whole thing about these games, right? And the hook of these games is the gambling aspect of taking something that's not yours. And like I gamble a lot. And I would never gamble on a casino cage or on your iPhone because I'm stupid. I like the dopamine hit of getting something that's not mine and winning it. How am I going to win this when I have to go and go, okay, target.com. Oh, that plushie looks nice. It just, there's no hook to that. And kids are going to get bored winning the same 3 unicorns out of their thing unless dad has a bag of them in the back. So I don't think they thought through the novelty of them on how quick it'll wear off. I mean, same thing with the casino cage, right? We see a bunch of press for that, but you did not see a lot of gameplay videos for that after the first couple of weeks. In fact, we didn't even know in the community that you had to be connected to the internet to play that thing for like months because nobody cared.
Yeah, so, we finally got a video on how the Wi-Fi doesn't work on a lot of them. And you have to have a certain configuration for your Wi-Fi in order for it to work. And
so funny.
All that. But so we're kind of all in agreement. Arcade went up. This is probably their worst year since they've been in business. Yeah. And everything they've kind of released this year has been lackluster. Rehashes, the new things they brought us, which we're looking at here, just weren't that great, weren't that fun, weren't that exciting. We're kind of all in agreement on that with Arcade went up this year.
Yeah. I mean, this is a transition year for them. We all know their internal struggles they have. John's gone, like him or hate him. He was the licensed guy. I think at this point, Biggie in Brooklyn, Arcade One Up has no identity, and they're trying to figure out. And the first identity internally is to keep the lights on. And that's what I think they're trying to do. And the creativity and whatever nostalgia they had for the community, the lights stay on trumps all of that. Trumps passion, trumps innovation, trumps originality. And so right now, they're probably still just trying to say, what can we sell to keep the lights on? And we'll get our strategy next year.
Well, and they're doing some strange stuff too towards the end of this year, like that hospitality conference and trying to get this stuff into hotel rooms.
Absolutely. Weird.
And then there was some buzz that they may be at CES, but now it's sounding like they're not going to be there. So who knows what's going on with them and where they're going to be next year? No one really knows. I just kind of see next year being totally different for this home arcade community. I see less people talking about Arcade One Up, and it's eventually just going to be put on the back burner. People aren't really going to discuss them much next year, I don't think, until they release something we're excited about.
Yeah, I agree.
I could see hotels having a great time having to replace the sticks that are broken off and the buttons that stop working.
You know how you're in like
cabinets that won't turn on after a day?
You know how you guys are in hotels and you leave in the morning and the maid has that big cart? Pretty soon,
they can have a bunch of little ball tops.
Yeah. Ball tops in there. I gotta fix the Pac-Man again. It's gonna be ball tops and rubber bands. It's like
deck protectors.
Deck protectors will be in there next to the towels. It's like, hey, honey, could you tell the maid to get some ball tops again? That's where they're.
Do you have any soap in there or shampoo? No, we only have deck protectors and ball tops.
So next, guys, let's talk about AtGames. And AtGames had a number of releases, total of 6 new cabinets, new artwork. We have the Adams family, but that officially came out in 2023. If you guys remember, towards the end of that year is when it officially released. So I'm not including that one. I'm including the other 6, which is Jurassic Park, Peanuts, Star Trek. We also got 3 others here, which are going to be Dinosaur Dynasty, Attack from Mars, and Sea of Thieves. So they had a good lineup this year. 6 new pinball 4KPs. And then what do you guys think of these 6? And which one, Brooklyn, starting with you, would you say was the best? And which one was the worst of this year, of these 6?
Easily, for me, the best is the Attack from Mars because of just the way they did the artwork. They kind of kept it simple, and that color scheme with the fire kind of pattern, the oranges and yellow on the black, it looks great. And when you look at the front, it doesn't have any kind of really set design on the bezel, which is so it's not going to distract from it when you're switching between different tables. Which is the worst? You know, what other choices do I have? I know you had another slide because
we've got a total of 6.
I'm gonna, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with Jurassic Park. I did like the fact I don't really. Yeah, that's my worst design on all of these.
And you got to keep in mind too. I think too for us is like AtGames is head and shoulders above what Arcade One Up put out. So when we say AtGames had Jurassic Park being their worst, you would still say that's way better than anything arcade.
I'm going to say out of all of these, if I had a choice, that would probably be the last one. And one of the main reasons is the side with the terrible graphic, which is kind of all blurred out.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be the side that would be showing in my home arcade. And Buy Stuff Arcade, if you see the skin that they put out for it, now, if that would have been the skin for it, it probably would be number one in my book.
Yeah,
that
I'm glad
Snoopy
that
is a close second, though, dude. Like, it's really nice looking.
Oh, yeah. I saw that one at Pinball Expo, and I'm glad that you pointed out the artwork on the right side of Jurassic Park, because that really needs to be highlighted, that the right side is very pixelated. Like, it looks terrible.
It's bad, yeah.
And it's unfortunate that they did that, because the rest of the cabinet looks really good.
Yes.
And there was some complaints about the ferns and all the vegetation on the front not having any dinosaurs, but that's kind of nitpicking.
I don't mind it.
But the right side, that cabinet artwork on the right side, it looks terrible. So I don't know how that got approved or why they did it that way. But you're thinking Jurassic Park because of that artwork.
Because of the artwork, just because of the right side, that kind of like would ruin it for me personally. If they could have just put the same artwork on both sides.
Oh yeah, that would have looked great, because the left side looks amazing.
Yeah, because it has that same color scheme that really pops on a pinball machine, like that's on the Attack from Mars. Those type of colors with the orange, like on the dark background with the oranges and yellows, it looks great.
And what would you say is your first or your best looking of the 6 skins we got?
It's Attack from Mars all day. If I was getting one of these, that's like, there wouldn't even be a thought. It would be the Attack from Mars.
And is that because that's original artwork, like original pinball artwork? Is that the reason you picked that one?
Because they kept it simple, like the same graphic on both sides, and it just looks nice.
Okay, very good. And what about you, kevgret? Of these 6, which one are you liking the most? Which one did you like the least?
Without a doubt, the Attack from Mars is, for people in the home arcade community that grew up with this, that's what I would buy immediately if they solved all their issues. That topper alone is fire. Look at that topper. It just screams, I want to go out and play a game of Attack from Mars. I mean, look at the dinosaur. It's like, that topper compared to the Attack from Mars, come on. And you know, this is a table that we grew up with, Biggie. So the fact that they paid it some good homage here. I mean, Sea of Thieves is an original table. I don't have any nostalgia for that. Why would I buy that? I don't even see a topper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Dinosaur Dynasty, I actually thought once Jurassic Park came out, that would kill this, but Jurassic Park, they kind of missed. You know, they literally put hemp all around that thing. Like, what is that? Am I growing marijuana on this thing? It's just,
and you know, Kev, that's like a huge get. Like, you get the Jurassic Park license to do a cabinet. I would make sure that would have been the most badass one.
How could you not have a giant T-Rex hanging over as your topper? You know? And this might be, you know, surprising, but that Snoopy would be a close second for me, just because it's so iconic and it's so different, and it would pop in any arcade room. You know, that topper is just awesome to me, because I'm older, so I grew up with Snoopy, and it's nostalgic to me. That Star Trek, that's not my Star Trek, right? The artwork they chose isn't the one that I would want to show off. So I wouldn't.
Yeah,
pick
you
that
want
one.
the original or next generation?
Give me next gen, and then Kirk, or Shatner if you have it. But I have no nostalgia for this, so I would go Attack from Mars, then Snoopy, and then Star Trek, and then toss up with the 2 dinosaur ones.
Okay. And Nate UT is in the chat. He's saying the Peanuts is a sleeper hit. Yeah. Again, a winner with my daughter. And I'm an old school fan too. And that's same with me. I have a lot of nostalgia for Peanuts and Snoopy. So that one would be up there. Charlie Brown, especially with the Christmas table that just released. Mickey Yoon says Jurassic Park is very pixelated artwork, and the front is terrible in his opinion. So for me, guys, I would say my number one of these 6 is going to be the Snoopy, the Peanuts.
Okay.
After seeing these in person, I thought it would be the Attack from Mars, because it has the original artwork, and I wanted the original pinball artwork if I could get it. But after seeing Peanuts, that's my favorite. The yellow really pops. The yellow is my favorite color. I have a huge amount of nostalgia for this theme, for this cartoon. growing up. So that was the one that did it for me after seeing these in person. Now, my number one worst, like my least favorite, would have been Dinosaur Dynasty, I thought. But after seeing them all in person, and I'm glad you brought it up, both Brooklyn and kevgret, that pixelated artwork, I think that that just really threw it off for me. Even though I really liked the Jurassic Park games, I thought the rest of the cabinet looked really good. I gotta, put that one on the lowest of the 6 because that artwork just looks terrible.
Yeah.
But Dinosaur Dynasty's right there with it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, top 3 would be Peanuts, Attack from Mars, and Star Trek. Those would be my top 3. And it would be a toss-up between those, but I'd probably go Peanuts. But I think definitely the theme of the best of 2024 is AtGames had the best year. They had a killer year this year. They put out a ton of really great products. We also got the AtGames Legends Ultimate HD CE edition that just came out at Sam's. We did not get that 4K AtGames Legends Ultimate that we were supposed to get. But overall, I think they had a killer year this year. And Arcade One Up had a terrible year. They had, a very lackluster 2024. So we'll see what, next year brings. I think we'll learn a lot in CES during January of what's going on with these different companies. There's a lot of other companies out there too. I put in the poll, we've got Evercade, we've got Unico, we've got My Arcade, we've got Media One Up. So I think 2025 is going to be huge for home arcade. We got a lot coming. Slow year is going to be followed up with an extremely big year, I think, is what's going to happen. A lot of build up for it. What do you guys think? Any last comments on this year and closing out 2024 for home arcade?
AtGames in the lead. It's all about AtGames. They're the only ones in the home arcade space that's doing anything interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the problem right now is AtGames is a little anti-consumer with taking features away that's basically free, and they didn't have to do it. And I wish they didn't kind of go that way, because I own at least 6 or 7 AtGames products, as you see behind me. I think the AtGames Legends Ultimate is the greatest multicade out there. I have literally the entire world hooked up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And for them, I see people every day, Biggie in Brooklyn on the Reddit. Hey, why can't I do this? And I only get to pay $100. So it's like, it sucks to see that. It is good to see them continue to innovate, put out patches for these products. It's not, I definitely want to get one of these. I'm waiting for the right skin, and I'm waiting for a little more latency improvement. So, 2025 could be the year that I get one of these if the right skin comes out. I wish they would publish a roadmap of what skins are coming so I don't have to buy one and have FOMO, because they are putting out a calendar of all the tables that are coming. So why not put one out for what skins? There are people that bought Adam's Family and then got mad Attack from Mars came out a month later. But
besides, not to cut you off, Kev,
No,
but think about this. Besides putting out a schedule for the skins that are coming, how about also in advance putting out a couple of options and letting the community decide which one should be the final option on that particular skin?
That would be a good idea.
That is awesome. Like, put like 5 skins, 4 skins, and the next one wins. That would be really cool. Great idea, actually. I like that.
Yeah, so talking AtGames, also Steps had put in the comments or in the chat here, Biggie, you forgot Basic Fun. We've got them as well, supposedly making something.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see. So this is December calendar for AtGames. We did get the Charlie Brown Christmas last week, and then this week we got the Fishtails. Did you guys get a chance to see the Fishtails table and what it looked like?
I've seen it, but only on like my Rogue Ally X, because I don't have a 4K. I do have an HD, but I never hooked up my Vibs board. But I will eventually. Now that's one of the reasons I got the Rogue Ally, because I want to use that to run OTG through my HD, and I own every table, so that's one of them. It's a great table. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does look nice. The lighting looks really nice on this one, and from what I've seen,
colors
the
and everything.
was,
look how sharp
nice.
that looks.
Yeah, it's really sharp.
Yeah, I think it looks great. It's an original Williams table. Recreation of an original table. I like that. This guy commented here. This came off the 4K Facebook group. Let's see here if I can get the text large enough to read it. It said, beautiful fishtails table. Camera doesn't even do it justice. The rules and hat are completely readable. So I think they did a really good job. They're definitely stepping up their game. You know, early in this year, they were having trouble with the graphics, and definitely they've gotten a lot of criticism over them not being 4K. But I think they're doing a good job of continuing to improve throughout the year. And I think they've really, done a good job with Fishtails from what I've seen. This is also one that I have on my arcade 1-Up pinball, and I love to play it. It just doesn't play very well on that table or on that arcade 1-Up one. So this is one of the ones I'd go to first if I got a AtGames pinball, is to play this one. Just because I haven't got a virtual, version of this that I can play on my current one. Also, this is a free table by Zen as well. So if you have Zen FX or FX3, it's one of their throw-in tables that are free. So I think everyone has a lot of time with this one, have played it a lot. And I think this will be a big release for AtGames. It looks really good, and I'm glad that they got this out before the end of the year.
Yep.
More people have the opportunity to get them now with the financing. I know Kev made a big issue about that. But Kev, like the way I look at it, think about it. How do you think 99% of the people who are buying any of these products are buying it? They're buying it on a credit card anyway, so technically they're still doing the same thing. They're buying it on their credit card, and
buying a table's fine. Not putting 2K when your kid's eating ramen noodles every day.
But they're putting 2K on their credit card and then slowly paying off the card. Hopefully,
I think with the credit card though, it's like it's a little safer because like your terms are written out and they're in black and white, and you know what you're getting into. I feel like with the AtGames financing, there's a lot of unknowns. Where like if you're making your payment on time, you're good. But if you miss a payment, what happens? What all is going to happen to you? And it's kind of scary to get into an agreement like that because they're not very upfront with like the financing and all, and the fees and late fees and all that.
Also, AtGames is not a credit card company, so how are they going to handle that if someone doesn't pay?
They're they're actually putting a barrier in between you and the purchase, and that's not necessary. Like there are options out there for like a firm who actually do it legitimately. I don't know how AtGames would handle if you didn't pay or like late. Like it's just all weird. Like you don't need it. And obviously they're trying to sell pinballs. I get it. But if you're putting everything on a credit card, that's why I made my video. And stuff like this, just save up a few months. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
you made a video. Steps had a live stream on it.
Yep.
I've discussed it a little bit. The financing, you have to be very careful getting into their financing because you really don't know what you're getting into. And it could be really bad for someone that missed a payment or gets behind.
It can't be any worse than the people in the community that are buying these Stearns, like 2 and 3 of them.
Yeah, I don't know
like
how
a car
they're
payment
financing it. Yeah, that I would like to talk to someone like Ralph or Carrie Hardy to just ask him, how are you financing this? So a lot of times what I hear is you buy one pinball.
No, we're still here.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of times I hear you buy one pinball, guys, and then you get in the community and you just trade that all around because it holds its value. This isn't like an arcade 1-Up. Like I heard Carrie say they just trade amongst themselves in the area. And so you just keep doing that. But not to harp on this, but the real reason I made that video is because I'm sitting downstairs, and I don't make a lot of videos anymore, if you guys notice, but I'm sitting downstairs and I see somebody in the community that is an affiliated AtGames influencer. And he makes a video telling me and you go into debt for this because it's a good thing. And I said, how dare evil genius tell me to go into debt when you work for the company that you're trying to do this for? And that's why I made my video. Not necessarily telling you don't do it, but I'm saying, look at the person who's telling you to do it. It's insane that and he has no knowledge of finance. I at least have 2 degrees. I work in the field every day of my life. I can help you, steer you to get this if you want one. Just put your money away for a few months. That's why I kind of did it. And it's like, hey, if I get attacked for it, I get attacked for it. That's why I'm here,
Yeah, my opinion on it, and this is just my opinion, everyone can do their finances the way they want.
Exactly.
But I just don't think you should be putting these toys in front of other expenses, things that you actually need. These are wants, not needs.
Exactly.
And I feel like you should save your money, or at least have a good amount of what you're going to need to buy it saved up before you go and purchase this stuff, because it could be hard to sell. It could be, hard to get rid of if you need the money. and you probably aren't going to make the money back that you put into it. I just don't think it's a very good investment. And
these
It's
are
to the point where you need
opinion.
the money. You're not going to get a return.
No.
You're going to lose money on the sale because you're going to be desperate to sell it.
Yeah.
And people are always haggling if you put any kind of machine up.
Who knew that Steps live stream in my video was going to be a precursor to a storm that came? And we made those videos out of love just to stop the very storm that came on the community a few weeks ago. Who knew it was going to come so quickly? But that's exactly why I kind of put my video out there to just put in people's heads, because Dave Ramsey has a saying, children do what feels right instead of what actually needs to be done. And like putting stuff on a credit card is so what people do today. They don't think of the implications. And the next thing you know, dude, I literally watch Dave Ramsey every day.
Yeah.
And I take his advice and I try to do the right thing. And I shouldn't be watching him because I'm okay over here. But that's why I get so passionate about this finance stuff, because I took myself out of debt. And then when I see an influencer telling you to go into debt for this, and it might not have the right intentions there. And to your point, these are toys. These are toys. Keep Stern out of it. Like, our community is more of this stuff. And that's why I made that video. So
I gotta be honest, the entire home arcade community is basically getting people into debt, because it's if you think about what the entire home arcade community is showing off products,
unboxing,
and
review,
the people that are watching want those products, and everybody wants to get it. And so it's almost like the home arcade community, just a bunch of salesmen for more products.
No, I agree. Which is why,
true.
I agree. But a lot of these products are a couple bucks or a game, not $2,000, and that's where it gets a little kind of like crossing the line. You know, if I'm doing an unboxing on this or a Glenn's GRS that's $49.99, that's not going to change your life as much as a $2,000 bill is. But it's like a boiling pot. You put this, and then you slam on the 4K. Next thing you know, you're like, oh man, my brakes just went. Well, okay, whatever. I'll just pay the interest, and now you're done.
And this is way higher in price than anything we've seen prior to it.
Exactly.
Like the KI Pro was $1,000.
Yeah.
And we balked at that. And we're like, that's crazy. And this is double that. So this is a huge purchase for a lot of us.
Exactly.
You know, typically we buy these like one at a time at $500-600 a pop.
Exactly.
And over time we collect, 4 of them, and then we've spent $2,000. So
exactly.
It's a big decision, and it's a big purchase, and I don't think it should be taken lightly. I definitely think people should do their research, make sure that what they're getting into is what they should be doing when they finance this type of stuff.
You don't only have the expense of buying it. Then when you get it, you already know you're going to want to have tables. And that's a lot of money. The tables add up pretty quick.
Another $200 in the blink of an eye, guaranteed. And I think I mentioned that in my video as well. So you have to be prepared for the upkeep and the weekly rollouts, and you're going to be spending. And then, I got to get the pinball net. That's another $100.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's $2,400 is like coming your way eventually.
So they're doing the NOD winter sale right now. It's going on from the 12th. A few days ago it started. It'll run through the 24th. Let's take a look at some of the pricing that they have on the website right now. We've been hearing from PK, the owner, the CEO, that prices are going to go way up early next year. What do you guys think? Do you see prices going up or going down next year?
Well, if PK is saying it, it's got to be true. But why would he, right? Like, why would he say it now? Like, that is so ridiculous. Like, Biggie, I work for companies. I can't tell you if prices are going up or down. I mean, there's studies that have to be done, this and that. If he's saying it has to go up, why is he saying that? There's nothing in the world right now that's like a wood shortage or something like that. If he's talking tariffs, that has yet to be determined. Tariffs should be no determining factor right now to FOMO you into buying a 4K today as opposed to February. Because here's the thing. Prices will come down to adjust if nobody buys them at $2,500. If nobody's buying them now, no one's buying them at the higher price. And how do we know nobody's buying them? Because they're offering financing through their own company when they're not even a bank. So you know there's issues out there. So I didn't see this, Biggie in Brooklyn. I don't know where you read it, but that's just kind of weird for a CEO to come out and tell you buy it now because we're going to screw you in 35 days. It's going to go up.
Yeah, he's weird. Talking these are going to go up to like $2,500.
And it's Christmas.
Well, that can come back to bite you because people don't forget. And then if it doesn't actually go up and it winds up going down, and someone bought it because they were
a product like a gaming product go up double.
They usually go down.
Yeah. Well, wait, look at these prices on your screen, Biggie. Remember when Addams Family came out? And everybody said, buy it, the price is great. Well, the prices have come down since then. They've been on sale almost every nod, every sale. Papa Brad has an affiliate code for $50 off on top of it. You know, if I bought the Addams Family, I'd be a little disappointed if I didn't wait 6 more months to get another $150 off or whatever it is. So it's like, anybody that challenges me to buy something today because the price is going up, I automatically go, sorry, dog. I'm just going to wait this out now. Because that's just how
it makes you less likely, less FOMO.
Just to put it into perspective.
It's like a car salesman.
When I got my HD, I think I got it on a Christmas special, and it was like $900. And it came with the controller stick. It came with the Vibs board. It came with a bunch of pinball packs.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
People have found them on clearance for $200.
Yeah.
Like Sam's Club.
Yep.
So, I think the prices of things in these products go down. And plus, when the 8K table comes out, this will be $100.
And they're not compatible. So,
Now, you guys both own this one, the Legends Pinball HD.
I think it's a fantastic design.
You guys can speak from experience. You both have enjoyed your time with this machine. And
still
got a lot out of it.
Yep. I think still today, Biggie, I play it. I have all the tables except for a couple of the Dr. Seuss or whatever. I can hook up a Switch to this in 30 seconds and play all my Zen and get my fun out of it. Sure, it's not, 3 screens and this and that, and I attach Joy-Cons to the ALP for like pinball, but it's good enough for me. It's such an easily accessible moddable machine for the money that it's hard to spend $2K to get the incremental upgrade for the Zen tables right now. So that's why I'm kind of holding out hope too that the more you wait, the price will come down. You'll get more table opportunities and more patches. So until then, I'm playing the heck out of Raztan, and I love Zookeeper on this thing. Like, it's amazing. So
I have Zookeeper on right now.
Yeah, so there's little reason for me. I mean, I know a lot of people upgrade it, and that's fine. But yes, it's a great product. They hit it out of the park on their first opportunity with this HD pinball.
You can't compare the 4. I mean, if you put a 4K next to the HD,
exactly.
Turn the HD off and accidentally push it out the window.
Yeah, exactly. But for 2K,
but the thing, my decision about not going with the upgrade was, number one, I own every single table on HD, and I would have had to repurchase all of those over again.
Yep.
Did you hear that Zen is, and they started with the Switch? If you own the FX3 version, you're going to get the FX version for free. Did you hear about this?
Well, I thought it was on that app that they just released for Android. I thought it was Zen Pinball World. You're saying it's the actual Zen FX?
On Switch,
Yeah, so what Mel broke in and did this little spiel about Zen Pinball World, and I thought he said if you own Switch tables on FX, you get them imported to Zen Pinball World, which is a new app for Android that was just released this week. Maybe I'm wrong. But
I didn't hear that. I heard that they're starting with the Switch. If you own the FX3 version of the table, you're going to get the FX for free. And they're trying to get PlayStation and Xbox and Steam to do it. They haven't agreed to it yet, or given into this idea, because they want to make as much money as possible. But that would be great, right? What if AtGames says, okay, any HD tables you own are going to transfer to the 4K for free if you buy the 4K? That would be a really good selling point.
Yeah, I mean, anything that'll make Brooklyn and I go, okay, now this is worth selling this on the secondary market and then moving these tables over, because it's, it's like what we just said. Now I got to spend $150 or whatever the sale to get all those tables again. And and we not only that, we rebuy them on FX, we rebuy them on the Switch. So like, I have hundreds of these tables floating around on various devices through the years. And so this isn't the first time that I had to buy all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like probably the third or fourth. And so it does get a little frustrating when you have to keep doing that. But if they did something like that, now on the flip side, people have been selling their HD with the tables, Biggie, and getting more money for it. So that's the other side. You probably wouldn't be able to sell your tables, your HD tables, with your pinball. So there's definitely give and take to both sides.
Now, another thing that I wanted to ask you guys about, because I saw this was on sale during NOD as well, is this Legends Bit LCD HD.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
only
must,
got
dude.
30
You need
bucks
it.
off. I'd love to
Yeah.
see this go down to like $200. I'd probably get one.
I
But it's
swear I
always
paid
been,
like
300 bucks
something.
or more.
Well,
I
Biggie,
paid full price because I had mine pre-ordered for over a year before it came
I'm
out.
gonna go look at my invoice. I swear I paid like something for this a couple only 2 years ago on exactly around this time, and it's a
Mhm.
must own.
Yeah,
You need it. You need it. You need it. There's no excuse. Like it just makes it so much better because it just integrates with coin ops automatically. Like
it's the
Mhm.
it's
best. Like when I
oh
look at um my Legends Ultimate, and
oh
I have the front, I spun it around so it's all black.
Mhm.
And when you have all the lights out in here and all the arcades going, and that thing is switching through
yeah.
different games, it just takes on the look.
I'm
Because you
gonna
got
just
the bezel that pops up on the screen, and
oh
then you got
Is it
the
hard to
marquee.
install?
No, it's
no.
simple, dude.
Oh,
I
okay.
know. I don't know if I did a little video. Probably
Depending
not,
on
but
which ultimate you have, you just put the screws in a certain place, and then it just sits into
it
that.
floats. Yep.
Yeah, it pretty much just like just drops down into place, and
Mhm.
then you connect it inside, and then it has you have a little SD card in it. What I did is I ran a flat cable,
Mhm.
and so my SD card, it basically sits behind the cabinet, so I don't have to take the marquee off if I want to load up more
Yep.
stuff
Yep.
on the on the card. I could just grab it out of the back, update
So
it, and then put it back in. It's ready to go.
yeah, what he's referring to, Biggie, is that you put the marquees for like the coin ops on a SD card and
Mhm.
it sits in there, and people make every game ever made available. And then they make active marquees where some of these things are animated.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's insane. I'm gonna go as far as to say this could be the greatest accessory, third party, first party, whatever, ever created for the home arcade
hands
community.
down.
Oh, wow.
Because
That's a big
yeah,
statement.
it's huge because when you turn these lights off and you
Mhm.
turn that on and you see Robotron in the deepest blacks, and
It's
that
crystal
marquee
clear.
literally takes you back to the arcade, Biggie. And then
Mhm.
you take a step back and Robotron is on your AtGames Legends in full crushed blacks, no spots, no pixelation. You're like, this is amazing. And
Mhm.
it to me, like you need it. Like there's not many accessories I'm going to say need. This right here blew my mind when I picked it up.
Yeah, I was
So
looking at my ALU today, and I was considering getting one of these because it would just add a lot to it, and
oh
also my room too. When I have these
yep,
running,
absolutely.
it would give it so much more of an experience as well as just the visual of it. So I may end up pulling the trigger on this. Do you think the price may get lower next year, or do you think this is a good deal right here at 320?
That price is high, but I mean, I only paid 220, I believe, back
Oh
2 years
wow,
ago. Yeah, I don't know how these things have gone up like 50, 60% in 2 years.
yeah,
But at 320, think about this. That's almost what I paid for my entire Legends Ultimate on a
yeah.
discount.
I
It's
think I
like,
paid 350 for my
yeah,
ALU,
exactly. So
so
now
I'm
you're
gonna pay
talking
that
about
much just
a
for the
full
marquee.
price for the marquee. If maybe this is psychology of pricing, Biggie. If that was $299, I would
Yeah,
be like, okay, $299. But now you got to add shipping on that thing. So now you're
yeah.
looking at $350-ish for that plus taxes. I would say hold off for that. I mean, they got to get better with that. I mean, that's a lot of money. You could get a whole other product for that
Well,
and
their
play.
new 4K ALU that comes out hopefully next year
Yeah.
will include one of these. So
Yeah.
maybe as they're
Yeah.
ordering
Oh, there
more
you
of
go.
them, that the price will go down. We'll have to wait
Yeah.
and see. I think I'm probably going to wait. It's just too high, only 30
Yeah.
bucks off. And hearing you only paid 220 for yours.
Yes,
Uh, it-
exactly. I'm going to try to find my invoice while we chat. It's been a couple of
yeah.
years. But Biggie, think of this. You can go right now in the Best Buy, get a 65-inch 4K TV for $199, and I swear
Mhm.
I can pull up 10 of them. 65-inch, and you're gonna pay $300 for a little
Yeah.
rectangle
I
marquee.
know.
Come
Yeah.
on, guys.
It does fit the arcade though, and I guess that's like the reason
Yeah, I
we're getting
know,
it.
I know, but there's so much more. Like it's so weird that that's so much compared to TVs these days and all kinds of other
It does put it in
equivalent.
perspective though. You're
Yeah,
talking
you have
about
to
like
think
a
about it.
QLED TV is like the
Dude,
same price.
totally. Yeah, for the same price.
Wow.
Biggie,
So
that's why when years back when you were first coming on the scene and you got your Legends Ultimate, you had your marquee was messed up, the
yeah,
original
and you had
plastic
sent
one.
me one because mine was cracked, and
And
I bought it through VIP outlet. They wouldn't
Yeah.
replace it.
So mine was also messed up. To the left of it, it was almost like the plastic was all like bubbled.
Hmm.
And they sent me a replacement one from AtGames when I sent the pictures. And that's the reason why I never put it on. I just tucked it behind the cabinet and just saved it, because that was how long ago I pre-ordered this bit LCD. At one point, I didn't think it was going to be coming out anymore. Then I was just like shocked when they actually, took the $50 and then you had to pay the rest, and that it was coming. And so, yeah, I was like super excited. And that's how I had that extra one to send to you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That was a lifesaver, because I would have had to pay a lot of money to get a replacement, or just deal with the cracked marquee I had that came with it.
Man of the people, Brooklyn Menace, saving home arcades one at a time.
Yeah, you've been definitely one of the best friends I've met in this community. I mean, you're like one of the most giving, nicest people I've met, and just really thank you for that. So this is the schedule for December 15th through the 21st on the calendar. They're going to get Wild West Rampage, Sorcerer's Lair. These are both the in-house developed Zen pinball tables. I think they both play really well. It'll be interesting to see how good they look on the 4KP. Hopefully they can do a little bit more with these, because they're in-house developed. Maybe they can get them to 4K. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, I don't know if you guys played these tables, but to me, the in-house tables, they're just, I don't know. I don't find them exciting, and I think I can play them forever. They seem to have different physics that they want you to win and hit these ramps a lot easier. Maybe it's just me, but it just seems like, especially with that Sorcerer's Lair, you can just sit and play that forever. Like I don't know. I was just playing it the other day, and I'm like, I'm bored. What am I going to do?
The Wild West was on in the VR, the Zen VR. It was that's one of the tables when you're playing in VR. You got like the whole train track that goes around you.
I do like the Wild West, actually, because there are some shots, and see that is a little more difficult. You got to do some shots, and stuff happens with the bandits up at the top. I do like that table better, but it's their table, right? They should be able to program up to the highest specs. It's not like, I mean, we'll see. They haven't been able to hit it yet.
So Mystery Coder just put a pretty funny comment in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't highlight chats tonight, guys. There's something messed up with the restream, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Mystery Encoder says, I can't afford a 4KP. I was too busy paying for Danny's.
Oh, man.
I remember he gave like a $200 super chat.
He gave. I was watching the show. He gave multiple $200 super chats.
Man,
and then
that's
I think $100 one.
That was just a reaction to Joel.
What I learned from that stream is I got to get Mystery Encoder to watch my channel more often.
Yeah, right.
No. This is the lesson of the stream. Bring someone on to yell at you, and all the simps in the chat will feel bad for you, and they'll start throwing money at your screen. That's the lesson. Just get bullied on screen, guys.
Hey, I'm kind of getting friendly with Joel now. We played VR golf together. Maybe I can hook something up.
Brooklyn, bring him on your show to yell at you, and then Mystery Encoder will throw hundreds at this screen for you, and then you'll get your 4K in a week. That's how. Did you
guys see 19K Fox put all his super chats on hold for the rest of the year, not taking any? Steps had mentioned something about my monetization, so YouTube wanted me to send them a video on how I edit my videos to like prove I'm a real person and I'm not like some bot that's just re-uploading Biggie D's videos. So they ended up demonetizing me because I didn't do the video correctly. And now I'm re-up for like a chance to reapply, and I've already reapplied. I just have to make a video showing them how I use OBS, how I make my graphics, how I edit my videos, how I do my live streams and all that. And I've had a week to do that, and I still haven't even started. So I'm just taking my sweet time to do that. The money's not that important to me. I do this stuff because it's fun. You know, it's a hobby of mine. I like meeting the people in the community and making friends. Money's secondary, or even beyond that. It might even be like third or fourth priority for me on YouTube. So I'll eventually get to it, and the channel will be monetized. I actually want to make sure that I get it monetized before the end of the next month, because the memberships I have intact will stay intact as long as I finish within 120 days, which will be the end of January. So whenever that happens, all the members will still be members again, and everything will go back to normal the way it was before.
But how crazy is that, Biggie? They can just come to your channel and see your face.
Yeah.
Like, this makes no sense that I'm just going to throw out there 70, 80 million active users on YouTube, and they want you, Biggie D's Arcade, to send them video of you cutting up a video. That's insanity.
They want me to prove I'm like a real person. They think I'm just like re-uploading Biggie D's content on his channel.
Like there's a real Biggie D you have locked in your basement. So
crazy. So that's what I'm dealing with.
Biggie was trying to get my channel taken down last night, streaming YouTubers on my VR bowling stream.
I didn't even think of that when I put on these big channels. We were bowling, and I put on YouTube on the big screen so everybody could watch, and we had James Hates Everything, and then I started putting on these huge channels.
If I didn't stop him, he probably would have put on Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So one other pack we're going to get here, it looked like, was this Natural History. Do you guys have that pack 1, pack 2 on the HD?
Yeah, I enjoy them.
And they're pretty good?
No.
Looking forward
to
the
they're not good?
No, let me...
F you, kevgret.
Listen. Everyone's going to say I'm a hater, this and that. But I have, I think the first one, right?
Uh-huh.
The tables are the same boring layout. You don't know where the ball's going. They put cloud effects, like, so you can't see it. And it's like, where am I supposed to go? The 3D effect is the worst I've ever seen on these tables because, Biggie, they have multiple levels on these, right? But I don't know what level I'm in.
Especially exoplanets.
It's like, where am I going? And so, like, my eyes actually almost get bugged out where I'm trying to look down. I'm like, this is the worst stereoscopic versions of these tables, and I did not buy the other packs because of it.
So you didn't get the pack 2?
No, because if they're the same 3D boilerplate...
Nah, pack 2's great, dude. Egypt.
Is it better than... I have to see if I have it. But
really good, man.
But that first pack with, like, Ice Age or whatever... And it's like, no, they're boring. They're boilerplate. They didn't do anything original. And the levels, I just don't know where to go. And a few people, echoed what I'm trying to say because it's not 3D. Like, there's no effect there when you get to that second level and the I don't know. So yeah, it turned me off.
And they're not inexpensive. You guys can see it's $35 for the 4K one.
Exactly.
And I think the HD might be that same price. So you're paying quite a bit for the tables.
And that's
so they should be working right. They should be fun to play.
Yeah.
But this is pack 3, so hopefully they're getting better and they're improving them over time. It sounds like they did from pack 1 to pack 2.
Yeah, maybe. Well, here's the thing. Brooklyn likes everything. So if he tells me pack 2's good, he's gonna. I don't.
It really is good, man.
Less. All right, I'll have to check it out if it's on sale.
No, because I'm on pack 1. Yeah, exoplanets. Like, when I get these packs, I just quickly play through each table, and exoplanets definitely was like, I was like, what? I couldn't tell the perspectives of where I was on the table.
Exactly.
But I did go back in a few months back, and I was like, you know what? Let me just give it another try and just play a few games of it. And you do start picking it up. I had the same issues when they came out with the original, the deluxe tables. There's so many levels to it. I didn't know where the hell I was half the time.
I don't go to those deluxe tables as much as like people would think. I go back to the originals. These deluxe tables, Biggie, they're just layered upon layers, and it's the same thing with these first pack. I just don't know what's going on. They're not that fun. So I go back to the other ones. Yeah,
my favorite still are the title packs.
Some
people don't like them, and I'm shocked by that. I think that they were on the HD. They were the nicest looking tables.
I can play Frontline 8 hours a day. I love the shots on that. I love that the risk reward on that one turnover curl shot. So I love the Tatos and Rastan. You put targets on a pinball table, I'm going to just try to hit those. And there's like 52 targets, Biggie, on this Rastan pinball table. So I just go for that all the time. The tables I don't like are the fake tables, like when you start playing and like Operation Wolf guys come out.
You don't like that? I like that.
No, because it's a timed bobble. It's like timed modes, and it's like I just want ramps and I want to shoot. I don't want to have 18 little alien guys on my screen and the ball hits them. I appreciate what they tried to accomplish, but then they did it like 3 times on the same type of
they did the same
mechanic
gimmick. But I look at it like, look, these are virtual digital pinball tables, so they can do stuff on it that's never going to happen on any real table. So
I rather go play
and have fun with it.
Yeah, so I just heard this week, or maybe it was the week prior, that they finally have gotten to 200 4K tables. So they've put out quite a few tables so far. there's a huge selection, depending on what you like or don't like, you're going to probably find something that you enjoy. But I had saw this on the schedule as well on the calendar for the 22nd through 31st. On the 24th, so on Christmas Eve, AtGames is going to announce the Zen pinball tables for the first half of 2025, schedule for those announcements and releases, as well as the AtGames pinball table schedule for 2025. So I don't know what the Zen tables will be. I do know that we're going to get the rare Killer Instinct and the rare Battletoads for the AtGames pinball tables. Do you guys have any ideas of what Zen tables might be coming, or what new AtGames tables they'll get next year that'll be on this release schedule?
I know someone I could ask.
Yeah, no, right. No, I mean, the truth is, you could probably just go to the release list and see what's on 4K and what could be out there. Listen, I think it would be great if they can get some of these Disney Marvel tables on here, man. There's so many of those tables.
If they did a Marvel skin and really knocked it out of the park,
that would be hard for me
yeah.
too. That would be hard for me.
Indiana Jones would be huge.
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yes.
They have yet to do a Disney.
No.
So we'll see if they can get that license. We'll know next week, here in like a week and a half, if they get Disney for next year. But that would be huge for them. Like, just think of how many people would want to get a second one or sell theirs to get a new one.
There's enough good Marvel tables out there that they have. Like, I remember playing the Marvels on the original 360, Xbox 360.
There's so many Marvel tables.
Yeah,
I just bought them all.
If like they do a Marvel, do they do a collaboration of all the characters in one, or do they like pick one? Like Deadpool came out last year. Do they do a Deadpool? Well, there's so many possibilities.
Oh, each of these tables, like Spider-Man has its own, like all of them. Then there's, like Brooklyn said, there's so many that even the lower characters get their due. But Moon Knight, like all this is worth playing. So
Dazzler.
can you imagine that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
They couldn't include all the Marvel or all the Star Wars because there's so many now.
There's too many.
Yeah.
But they do have Star Wars VR pinball, and they somehow were able to get that license. So I don't know what it takes to do that for the home arcade pinball version of it. But hey, that Star Wars VR and the Star Wars standalone pinball pack is really fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love it. So can you imagine, Biggie, if one of these announcements is a Star Wars? I mean, that's probably reaching for the stars, but Marvel might be a little more attainable. But that would just that's an announcement that's a game changer. Like literally a game changer.
Now, one thing I did notice is they released the ALU CE-HD this year, and they took Star Wars out. They took all the Disney stuff out. Aladdin,
Lion King,
Tron, all that got taken off of the new ALU. So that leads me to believe they've lost Disney and they're not getting it back. What do you guys think?
Well, Brooklyn, real quick, you know what's funny about that? Do you know who just added all the Disney games? All of them, Aladdin, all the games that was just taken off. Do you know who got them on their service this last 2 weeks? AntStream. So
really?
Go fire up AntStream, and on the front page it says, we got all the Disney games. So, I mean, if AtGames lost them, it doesn't mean that Disney pulled them. It means that they couldn't play ball. But I was playing Aladdin just a week ago on AtStream. So they're out there still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're able to be licensed. I just don't know what happened on the AtGames side. Maybe, let's be honest, AtGames is getting greedy with money, and maybe they have to because they took away your features. So maybe they don't want to pay that extra 3% royalty, whatever these Disney games take to leave. Atari might be cheaper or whatever than these Disney games. But they're out there. AntStream has them. So it's probably more of a matter, Biggie, of cost effectiveness. That's why
I like what AntStream does, and it'd be great if some of these companies try to duplicate that, where they just do they set up the games where you just do certain challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I got sucked into that. I'm like Metal Slug, they one life run. I'm like, this is cool. Really cool. Yeah.
Of the Zen, though, they're talking about a huge release schedule of release of Zen tables coming early first half of next year. There's a huge amount of tables to choose from outside of Disney.
Yeah,
they could
exactly.
There's still a lot of Williams tables that they haven't released. Like World Cup Soccer would be a good one. We did get World Cup Soccer, didn't we?
Well, World Cup, I believe, was that a freebie?
There's a couple of soccers. There's one that actually have players on the field, and there's the one that has like the dogs on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
I think they got the one with the animated animals on it.
I mean,
But they
Creature
got
from the
the
Black
Junkyard, which could come. That would be a good one. The Black Knight, which just released on that new volume.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, they could go a bunch of, a lot of different ways. I mean, we'll find out in less than a week and a half if this roadmap is accurate.
There's 8 volumes of Williams tables that they can choose from that they don't, and they don't have a lot of those yet. So no telling what could be coming, but we should know here in about a week and a half.
Hey, I actually appreciate, just a heads up, that they're actually putting a roadmap out there. I miss roadmaps, for better or for worse, because it gets us talking and gets something exciting more than infighting with the community. Seeing this schedule that they announced that you're gonna get tables, it also makes the owners more involved. It makes them feel like, okay, cool, here's where the next set of tables are coming. This is fun. I love owning this product. And that's what we're missing in the community. For better or for worse with iArcade, we got Friday releases. We knew we were going to get up and hate it or love it. And it looks like we're going to get back to that with AtGames, putting out a cool little calendar for everyone who owns an AtGame. So kudos to that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a lot that could be coming. Let's just take a look here at what could be coming. Let me see if I can get this back up here.
I should just pull my Switch out and pull out. I own every single FX3 game.
So here's a list of what's on Steam. So Goat Simulator, The Princess Bride, Pacific Rim. We did get the TV classics already.
Look at the prices on those now. It's a little small for me to see on the screen
$10.
here.
That's crazy.
Dude,
yeah.
You had to see the prices on those.
They were like $1
like a week and a half ago.
It was insane. Yeah, and they do it do it all the time. So just wait till the March
They did it
sale.
right after I got my
Whirlwind.
I
heard this
perfect timing.
People talking about Whirlwind. That would be a great one, especially if you get a skin of Whirlwind with the fan above it for the topper, an actual functioning fan. Twilight Zone, I saw that in the chat earlier. You need to get a skin of that.
Well, Biggie, you also have to factor in, I believe they said after, was it March or maybe it was June, that there's going to be a day and date release with the tables across platforms. So eventually the new releases will coincide with like Goat Simulator and Knight Rider, and you won't have to wait as long. So maybe some of these releases will have like question marks on it, and that will be the day and date release of the new tables. So eventually, like these old tables will just be day and date release, brand new tables.
Yeah.
It'll be cool, actually.
Now, you were right. Like the Star Wars, the Marvel is a bulk of what's left.
Yeah. Bulk.
So, that's kind of like the one thing they really need to obtain is the Marvel license to really get a bulk of what's left.
Yeah.
But there are still quite a few left that they haven't touched on or made yet. A lot of the Williams pinball packs that they can still do. So I'd like to see these. But we'll see what comes.
Biggie, click that button at the bottom, please. Add all DLC to cart and then hit checkout.
Oh yeah, $504.
$504.70. Do it,
Dude,
Biggie.
I'm not kidding. If I spent $100 on all of those.
Yeah, it's normally around like $93 if you wait, get everything. And the marbles are like $18 if you wait for all of them.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. $504 for that, Biggs.
Hey, I know we're on the subject of pinball. We kind of mentioned briefly about VR pinball.
Yeah.
Now, there was something that I didn't know because I kept bringing it up to Biggie, like, you got to try pinball in virtual reality. But the one thing I was always disappointed about is I loved it so much, but it's been years. They just never did anything. But Biggie has confirmed that Zen is actually working on a new VR pinball.
Yeah,
Dude,
I actually shared a video last week of it.
Yeah, there was a teaser of it, just a little.
I'm super
teaser.
excited. I hope what they do, they actually give you access to every table they sell in there. And how awesome would it be if they could, like, if you could have a friend come in, like, do some kind of like multiplayer.
Have like
and
a
I would
bar
also
area.
like it if the scores from VR can apply in competitions.
Yeah.
You know,
have
like
tournaments with all
the
your
ones
friends.
that-
You
yeah,
guys
the
all
ones that
come
everyone
into
in
the
the
bar
community
area
have.
together.
Yeah.
But you just can play in VR, because that is my preferred way to play, because you actually feel like you're standing in front of a table. And what we said earlier about not being able to see the perspectives, you can see everything in VR. You can see all the perspectives of the table, all the ramps. So that would be my preferred way to play. And with like the control deck, like that new X Arcade, you can simply put your controls in there and it has pinball buttons on the side of it, so you could just be standing up on that thing and using that to play.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like you're actually, touching a real pinball table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what Zen needs to do is create a social platform instead of just releasing tables like you guys said, and then just walking around and playing. But think about this. It's been years. They've abandoned this platform. So it's been a biggie. Brooklyn and I have been playing Zen pinball for like 4 years, I believe, right? Brooklyn, it's been so long that they just walked away and abandoned. It's great to see him come back, but they can't just release tables because the game has been upped as far as a social experience, whether it's bowling, darts, golf. And so, how cool would it be if we all can just see each other and play, and then
just
have
like we're doing with mini golf, but we're in a pinball arcade. And we're all hanging out together. It looked like they had darts included, where like if you're waiting on your turn, you can play darts.
I honestly think that they probably see what's going on out there in the modding community. I mean, there's total communities that all they do is virtual pinball. So there's a lot of people into it, and they're probably realizing, hey, there's a way we could.
Yes.
People like this.
Yes.
So maybe if we do it right this time, it's another platform that people will, who don't want to do all the figuring out how to put it all together and to get it work, you could just buy it and it's already working for you.
Yeah.
And, plus they do all the, in VR, when you're playing the table, it's not just about playing the table. It's everything that they add that goes on around you.
Flying around you. Yeah. Star Wars. Yeah, exactly.
And who knows, AtGames could work with Zen to like have your VR headset hook into their 4KP and we all play together. We're in the same room.
Wow.
That'd
be fantastic. I would love that. I can't imagine them going that far, but I hope they do. I hope they realize that VR, a lot of people like the social aspect of it and to be able to play with other people. So they could just do that. That'd be so cool if like you can have your avatar go up to the table and then a second player can go up to it.
Yeah.
Or have multiple tables in there with a bunch of people in there playing.
Yeah. And we're going to get into VR here at the end. We're actually going to talk a lot of VR here for the last part of the show. But I did want to touch on this Unico Pocket. Because we've been seeing a lot of reviews this week. The samples were sent out to the content creators. Did you guys get a chance to watch any of that content and get an opinion formed on this?
I never had any interest in this. And all right, so just think about it. Yeah, if you told me years ago I could get all these SNK, Neo Geo stuff in a handheld, I'd be like, sign me up. And the price is not $70 or whatever they charge for it. But how was this? This does not look like it was originally designed for the games that it comes with. Why would it have a twin stick on it?
Yeah, and they're emphasizing the 2 twin sticks. So I have a short video that I want to show to kind of get our discussion started on this. It's a video of Cool Toy, and it's just the last part of his review because that was the first review that came out. And I had made a note on Friday that I wanted to discuss this on the Sunday stream. So let's watch this real quick and then we'll discuss, okay? 1 second.
Let's go ahead and back out and I'll show you a couple of other quirks that I noticed. Exit the game, yes. So going down here, we'll go to the copyright. And this is, just legalese, but at the bottom there, it says, any software that has been licensed under the GNU General Public License versions 3 is strictly prohibited by law. So they didn't really do a whole lot of spell checking or just quality assurance before they shipped this out, it doesn't look like, because you got strictly spelled horribly wrong. And I know that is such a splitting of hairs type of complaint, but it just feels kind of silly when you got absolutely worthless analog joystick over here, misspelled things in your copyright, you got weird verbiage on your box art that doesn't make any sense, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with this device, but there's nothing necessarily great about it either. I don't really understand why it exists. All the other stuff that Unico's put their name on has been pretty good. Like I said, the Phoenix Arcade Series monitors are awesome. The Neo Geo MVX X, great little home arcade for you. Good value, got 50 games on there. It's got all sorts of options that you can customize the games. This one, it's limited in the games, it's limited in how you can play it, because you can only play it on this handheld. There's no expansion capabilities, there's no way to add games. It's just, what you see is what you get. And I think what you see can be got on other devices for better values. If you don't
That's
care
what I
about
was
the
thinking. Like
official
you can get an
license aspect
Ambernick
of it,
handheld
you can get
for the same price.
Ambernick
have
handheld
hundreds,
device off
thousands of
Amazon
games
for
on
like
it.
$70 that plays thousands of games. If you really do care about the officially licensed aspect of it, I think again you'd still be better suited to get the
It doesn't
Neo
even
Geo
say
Mini
Neo
Arcade
Geo
than you
on
would
it
this.
anywhere.
So, guys, let me know your
Should
thoughts
be
and opinions
red.
down in the comments below.
Is
this something you're interested in?
Biggie, you
What
got,
changes would you
you
like
gotta
to
let
see
me take a
Unico
swing
make
at this.
on a future Pocket if they were to go out and revise this?
scary.
Let me know your thoughts
Here
and
it
opinions
comes,
down
I'm
in the
telling
comments
you.
below. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like button. Share this video with your friends if you found the information
The
helpful.
opinions of
As always,
kevgret do
thanks
not
for watching, guys.
Oh
necessarily
my
apply
God.
to.
So definitely go check out Cold Toy and his review we just watched. That just kind of set up our discussion tonight. But what do you guys think of this Neo Geo Unico Pocket?
I think the games on it are fantastic because I love everything SNK and all that Neo Geo stuff. But that just looks like they slapped a Unico sticker on it, but it was originally designed to be something else.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely did a poor job of putting this thing together. Made a bunch of mistakes. Didn't allow side loading of games. Didn't make it visually appealing at all. Just like a standard Ambernick look to it. Just a lot of mistakes along the way. Kind of just rushed it out. What do you think, kevgret?
This product is 100% e-waste. It should have never been made. They literally bought this crap out of a factory in Japan that China was sitting in a corner and they badged it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to compare apples to apples here before everyone in the chat says you're a SNK hater. Guys, do you want the better version of this? Just go buy this from Amazon. It's got more games. It's licensed. It's the same exact games with more. It's got HDMI out. You can plug a joystick in here. You can play it on your big screen. I put mine in my arcade one-up. This garbage can do none of that. And this is 5 years old.
Yeah.
So what is the purpose of this rebadged handheld that has none of the fun that this has?
Who made that little counter case?
This is SNK. This is officially licensed Neo Geo. So this has 5 more games than this. So they're bouncing around with the same licenses. They said, listen, we have these licenses. What are we going to do? They found these devices while the janitor was sweeping up in the back corner over in China. They're like, let's buy these for $0.25 on the dollar. And we're going to throw ROMs in here. But listen, there's no HDMI. There's two sticks. Why? Who cares?
Yeah, they have no use.
No use.
Like you see the analog sticks guys out in the audience watching. Those have no function whatsoever.
No function. And you can't, I'm sure, someone like Mystery Encoder might be able to crack this, but for the normal person that can't just put a card in here, go buy a $40. Now, if you want to like open this up big in Brooklyn, go buy a $40 Ambernick.
Yeah.
And it's over. It's done.
I love my
$40.
Ambernick. Like I take it to the airport with me, play it for all the time. It's great.
Yeah, it's like a tank. You can just throw it in your bag, this and that. So this has no relevance because this 5-year-old device destroys it. Ambernick destroys it. What purpose does this have in the space of the home arcade community? It doesn't make sense. You can't even put an HDMI in here. Like, I don't get it.
Did you guys happen to catch the interview on K-Fox's channel tonight or any of that? They had CTO of Unico on there.
I missed it. I'll see the replay though.
Yeah.
Okay. He's talking big. He's talking big things happening next year, like almost full-scale arcades, bringing like dedicated arcade machines from all different types of companies. Like he was talking about a Smash TV cabinet coming next year.
Wow.
Awesome.
Evidently, he's working with Media One Up, and Media One Up's going to help them bring all these licenses. And they're
but if he's putting his name on a product like this, I can't trust him till I see it. Like, hey, come on, guys, this product shouldn't exist. Now you're telling me you're going to dream big. Well, okay, now I got one eye on you because I love this thing. I really do.
Yeah,
but, I don't.
And I'm kind of with you, kevgret. I was like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I hear the talk. I hear what you're saying, and it's good that you're saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get hyped about it. I'm not going to get excited until I actually see something in writing or I see a video or a promotion for it. Then I'll start thinking about
exactly. it more. Yeah, you have to show me what you got, especially after this whatever abomination you're calling this thing.
But it was cool to hear him say some of these things tonight, because at least gives us some hope for next year. And sounds like they may be trying to take some of what Arcade 1UP had going for them and bringing that over to Unico next year.
Yeah.
With the help of John D, maybe.
I think that little handheld, if you bought it for someone that is completely out of home arcade community, just average person that maybe remembers those games and doesn't even know half of this stuff exists, they'd probably like it.
Mm-hmm.
But any of us...
It's more than this. This is $10 less than that abomination on Amazon right now. So why wouldn't you? And you could get this for as low as $49 on flash sales.
Yeah.
That thing is like $79. That's insane.
It sounds like they just kind of rushed out this handheld before the end of the year to like get something out.
Yeah.
To kind of like balance their releases, because they had that Nova Blast, which was a big ticket item, big priced item. They wanted to get something more reasonable out there to kind of give them some more products. But they did mention something really interesting for you too, Brooklyn, is them and Evercade may collaborate on a cabinet next year as well.
Well, they officially announced some type of partnership.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say what it is, so it's either going to be more that Evercade Alpha crap or cartridges.
Whoa, slow down there, Kev. What do you mean Evercade Alpha crap?
Because
look, I was on Rexo's show defending it, and now that I have the Alpha, I can confirm. Besides the switchable marquees, which is just a dumb idea, and it's not. They could just do without that. The thing is awesome. And I know everyone had a big, to do about how are you going to see on that little 8-inch screen. I cannot play on any handhelds unless I'm wearing contacts and my glasses over it. I can't see anything.
Here's
on
why
the Alpha, no problem.
Listen, here's why it's garbage. Here's why the Evercade Alpha is garbage. I'm
not letting you play it.
And Biggie, it's counterproductive to what Evercade was founded on, which was cartridges. Then they came out with a handheld with Capcom games that you can't buy, and it's only on this device. And now, look what they've done. They've created the Evercade Alpha with Mega Man and Street Fighter. Those games were only built in. And now, Brooklyn, in 2 months, they're going to make you buy another one with SNK, only playable in that device. So, what's the point of that? So now you have an Evercade Alpha, and I got to buy another Evercade Alpha with the SNKs.
I have a feeling we're going to see a little Neo Geo Evercade Alpha. I know the Evercade Alpha is not done. You're going to see more. See more.
And that's my problem, Brooklyn and Biggie, that they've FOMO'd you now, that now you're going to have 3 or 4 Evercade Alphas a year, which is so far removed from what this company was founded on, which was preserving games, preserving the history and the collectability and the fun. But no, now you're making me buy mini arcades at $350 a pop. And that, to me, is not what I bought Evercade for 4 years ago.
What I see, Unico and Evercade, they both see Arcade 1UP in the fall of Arcade 1UP, and they're like, okay, this is easy money, or this is an easy way to get into this and make something, and people are going to buy it up. So they're just trying to hop on an opportunity right now. And it sounds like they're going to work together on this, and we're going to get something big, like a full-size or near full-size arcade next year, dedicated arcade with artwork and all that. That's what it's sounding like, and it sounds like John D's behind it too. He's working with Evercade, he's working with Unico, and he's got the licenses. So
wait,
that's
John
what they
D's
need.
working. John D's officially working with Evercade. Did you let that slip? I didn't hear that. Or
that's what I've been hearing. That's the buzz, and
didn't...
that's what I've been hearing around the community. And I heard Mike B say it. It
must be true.
That John D Media 1UP is working with Evercade Unico on some products next year, and he's got the licenses, and that's what they need, and they have the ability to make this stuff. So it could actually end up happening, and we should hear more around January in CES, because John D and Media 1UP is supposedly going to be at CES at an off-site location showing off some new products.
Yeah, I actually got an email, Biggie, that he was going to be at the airport bathroom between 12 and 1 a.m. showing off new products. I'm gonna try to catch a plane, just go to the airport and get out of there. Won't have to spend any more time. But listen, an SNK cart, holy!
It's going to happen, Kev. They're going to have SNK carts. I think they're going to have a bit of everything.
But you don't have a Capcom cart, right? You don't have a Mega Man cart. Those are only built in. So if
Capcom limits them and doesn't allow them to do that.
Capcom limits them. So will SNK do the same? Because this never made it to a cart. These 45 ROMs, So if give me a cart and I'm going absolutely bananas. But if you give me another Evercade Alpha, now Brooklyn has to buy 2 more, one to keep in a wrap in his closet.
I don't
and then
have
one
to,
play
because I
with.
didn't even buy both of the alphas
Oh, you
that
didn't
came
get
out.
Mega Man?
Now, no, Herb Wars did. He buys.
Yeah,
He's worse
see?
than me with Evercade.
Yeah,
He has them all now. But here's one thing that I think Evercade should have done. So you have your standard versions, which they should have had, like the 2 cabinets. The deluxe version should have just included all of the games from both of them into one.
Yes,
For
agreed.
the extra money.
Yeah,
And that would have been a cool thing to do.
Split them up. Agreed. $350 for those 10 games, and now you don't get the Mega Man or vice versa with the Street Fighter.
That's why I went with the Mega Man, because it had a more diverse, styles of games. You got
I've
beat 'em
seen
ups,
that
shoot
Street
'em
Fighter
ups.
so many times.
Exactly.
I would have gone with the Mega Man also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the games that are built in on the Mega Man are a lot of fun. Every one of them. They're really good games.
Yeah,
but here's the biggest question about this, and then I guess I'll let it go. Are we going to get the same 45 games, Brooklyn and Biggie, that we've seen over the last decade?
I doubt it. I think you're going to see Super Pockets. That one's going to be, like a Metal Slug one that may have a couple of the games on it, and then you have your cartridge slot for it. But yeah, I'm not expecting to see one that's going to have 50 games on it.
I'll tell you what. You give me Metal Slug with 1 through X, I'm in. That thing's going to be, that would be one of my favorite carts ever,
Yeah, Papa Brad said he gives the Alpha an 8 out of 10. What would you give yours, Brooklyn?
It's my favorite way to play Evercade right now. I'm telling you, I'm not being a shill.
I know.
I do love Evercade, and I do love sitting downstairs on VS on the big screen with the 8-bit dough on my lap, and I'm still playing with arcade buttons. Yeah. But this Alpha, like, I don't play. I know, like Rex was showing, like, how are you going to play this? Your hands are falling off the side. I don't rest my hands on the cabinet when I play. It's like usually when I'm holding the stick, my hand is raised above, and the buttons and sticks, the Sanwa on the deluxe are so responsive, and there's so many games that aren't even on arcade cartridges that play so well on it. And they look great. And even the vertical ones where you're not using the full real estate of the screen, I have zero issue seeing anything. So I've been having a ball with it. Like, I've been doing a bunch of 1/4 challenges. Like I put 1/4 in, and then I try to see if I can get number 1 on the the leaderboard for the game, like you would in an arcade.
And you have it sitting right next to your other arcades, and it's just the whole arcade experience.
I bought a piece of furniture to put it on.
Yeah, I saw that little end table you bought for it.
What's cool is the end table that I got also has enough space to hold every single Evercade cartridge that I have, which is all of
Biggie, them. I have my Gen 1 arcade one up modded to put every single Evercade game on my Street Fighter Gen 1 cade right here. So like, why would I ever want to buy a little $300 device when I have every game on the Evercade right here on a stand-up?
I'm not kidding, Kev. If I brought it over your house, which I'm not going to do anymore, because I don't like you anymore.
Damn it.
You would love it.
All right,
you would
guys.
Say, all right, it's not
what do
as
we
bad.
got here?
So we're going to get into some VR here for the
potatoes.
last 30 minutes of the show.
Right, let's go.
And this has been the subject I wanted to really talk about the most, because it's been the one that I've personally been most playing and most interested in this last month since I got my Quest 3S headset. And I know you guys have been into VR for a while now, so you guys are speaking from a lot more experience than me. But I did notice that Brooklyn bought this vest, and he got it today.
He copied me.
It was crazy. That's a picture.
I took this from your community post.
Yeah, I'm striking your channel down after I'm off the show tonight.
This is what it looks like.
Good luck getting your monetization back.
This is last year's version.
You didn't see the little copyright on that picture. So
let's see kevgret's here. He's got, so this is last year's version here.
Kev sent me a message today when he saw that picture. He says, "Welcome to the Woosher family."
Are there any new features or anything like better about this new one that you got, Brooklyn?
The 3, it's way more advanced than the one that Kev has. It has way more haptics in it.
Double the money.
But,
and how much are these?
I always think just go with the best. That one was $400.
Oh my God, $400.
Yeah,
But that's
expensive.
$100 off.
Yeah,
Wow.
Christmas special.
they're expensive, Biggie. I paid $199 for mine, and I just wanted to try it for $200. I figured if it sucked, it sucked. But paying $400 or $500, that's
What
like
do you
the
think,
Marquee.
Kev? I mean,
Oh, I absolutely love it. And so I don't know if Biggie, you know how this works, but it's basically these vests, the Wosier, transforms sound and puts it all over your body.
Mhm.
So you hook this up. You will look crazy with wires because wire has to go from your control panel to your headset, and then control panel to the headphones. And so
Mhm.
what happens is you squeeze a trigger, your whole body feels that gunshot. Arizona Sunshine cannot be played any other way.
Oh wow.
And Brooklyn and I are what I call degenerates. Like we want the most immersion, breaking, like we want to be in. And so for us, like, yes, give me the damn haptic vest, give me the weighted guns, like we'll take any advantage that we can
I
feel
got
like
those
we're in
too.
there.
Yeah.
So,
I got the ones with the haptic.
yeah.
So how
he's
many
got-
sensors or like how much feedback are you getting in the vest, and how many areas of the vest are you feeling this?
Yeah, so on my vest, I think Brooklyn might have more. I have like 8. Like there's 4 in the front, 2 and like 2 in the back, or 4 in the back. And what happens is it vibrates. Now it's not omnidirectional. So like people are like, "Whoa, the B haptics, I know I got hit in my heart." Well, whatever. This
Mhm.
basically just vibrates your body. Like when you pull that gun, sometimes when I'm playing and it's gun based, I'm afraid to pull the trigger because you feel the weight of your decision. It's not just like pop, pop, pop. You're like, okay, and
Yeah.
it just brings you into the game. So like your body rumbles and you control the intensity and the volume. And I'm telling you, playing with and then playing without, you're like, I have to put this on. Now people don't like the fact you're wearing it. It's like a back brace. I don't care about all that because once you're strapped and in, you just lose yourself. And that's what VR is all about. Losing yourself into a different world. And when I shoot the gun and a zombie's head explodes and it sounds like a magnum just went off in my house, that you can't beat that feeling, Biggie. And I know it's a lot of money, but that's what we all want to get to, is that immersion.
Yeah, I was
VR.
watching because I've been watching a lot of VR streams lately.
Yeah.
And this one guy had a thing that you stand in and you walk, and
Yeah, that is-
you
the
walk in
treadmills.
place.
That is peak degeneracy.
Yeah,
He's got
and
the
it's like a treadmill.
Yeah, he's got, and then he's tethered from his ceiling in like a chain, and I'm like, this is insane. Like Brooklyn and I go so far, but that is a barrier we won't.
Oh,
cross.
dude, trust me. If I was
Crazy.
single, I'd be going that
Yeah,
far.
if I want to be single, I buy that and bring it in the house. My wife would be
My
like,
master bedroom would be, instead of full of arcades, it'd be completely empty.
So it's
Oh,
gonna be
that's
like that
hilarious.
movie
It's like
Ready
VR
Player
in it.
One. You know,
We're getting there.
Yeah,
We're getting
we're almost there
We're
already.
getting there. Yeah, we're
When
about.
I was playing with Kev, like my voice was vibrating his
It was
Wosier, so I was like,
vibrating,
I'm gonna start humming.
Yeah, oh, dude. I don't,
So I bought a couple of these gift cards already. This deal ends tonight, guys. So if you're interested in, saving a little bit of money, you can get the
Yep.
MetaQuest $50 gift card for $5 off. I mean, it's basically free money because you don't have to spend the gift card. You just add it to your account and you can spend it whenever you want. I know I'm going to end up using these, so I've already bought a couple of them.
you want me to give you, Biggie, the best secret to saving money and getting games for pennies on the dollar?
The referral links.
Nope, something better. Something I get games 90% off, and it's all legal. You ready
How
for
are
this?
you doing that?
All right,
Got games
everyone.
for like $1.
Yeah, everyone in the chat. If you want games for $1, officially bought off the store, here's what you do: go to the Oculus Quest Reddit. When you go into the Reddit, there's a post called Mega Deals.
Mhm.
Click on the Mega Deals. There's a list of every single game for 90% off, 10% off, 50%
No
off.
way.
Yeah, I picked up like games for a hockey game for $1, and so the
Oh,
codes
wow.
the codes will expire, and
Uh-huh.
so and the games rotate in and out. So go
You're going to have
check
to
it out.
send me that link.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link as soon as we're done, or I'll put it in the chat or whatever. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll drop it in the chat. And I'm telling you, you will expand your Quest library like Steam, buying 10-cent games.
No
And you
way.
can-
Because
yeah,
they're
I'm
all
telling
full
you.
price right now.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
well, they're all full price, but not this thread. And I'm going to save everyone in the community hundreds of dollars.
And I
these
can
are
use
good
my
games.
gift cards to buy that stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Because these are
Yeah, it's
officially
all
being
legitimate. You
purchased.
just put the code in
Yeah.
and it applies the discount. Kev gave me one on one of the best platforming VR games, and it's like a $30 game, and I got it for like $2.
$2,
yeah.
Max Mustard.
That's
And you know
awesome
what?
because I
People-
want to get a bunch of VR games. They're just
but
expensive.
They hid the code in one of their other games. Like they put like
Richie's
they did an
Plank.
update, and when you went into it, the code was hidden in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
Richie's
just
Plank
got
experience
the,
is one that's fun to when you bring your VR to people who've never played it. You put it on.
Watch them fall.
It's also a good way to get your VR set broken,
Smashed.
on their face.
Exactly.
I just got the Bobo VR headset this weekend. It has an extra
I was
battery
glad when I got
pack.
that.
So now I can play for like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, I got one of
Kev's
those.
got the Bobo.
Yeah.
And I was happy because it was like the first time we were playing for hours last night, and then Biggie didn't run out of power. Like
Yeah.
every time we play golf, we're
And more
like
so
getting
than the
towards the end, and
battery-
he's like, "Quick, everyone, golf fast! I'm running out of power."
And more so than the battery life is the comfort level now.
Oh, yeah, the
Where I
comfort.
was getting a little bit of pain under my eyes before with that other strap that it comes with. Now it's like I can play for hours, no issue.
That strap that comes with the MetaQuest, whoever invented that ought to be flogged and thrown in the
Yeah,
because
it's the
first
cheapest
thing,
stuff.
It's basically shoe leather, it feels
Yeah,
like.
it's
Because
garbage.
the
Yeah.
first thing that I recommend to anybody, get a strap.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Elite, whether it's the Bobo, because it sucks. You get this shiny tool, you put it on, and you just feel like you got like this bowl on your head pushing down. And it's like
Yeah.
meanwhile,
It's garbage. I think
meanwhile,
they
the
do
peop-
it just to cut costs on the whole
it's always
headset.
the cost cutting. But on the flip side, PSVR 2, one of the most comfortable headsets out of the box. You don't modding it would be optional because it's a Halo and it grips your head.
And
this
you have the
thing just-
tightening thing on the back
Yeah,
that comes
exactly.
with it.
Yeah.
But the good thing is those Bobo ones are cheap. They're like $50, $70, depending on what model
I
you
did a
get.
video on my Bobo. I endorse Bobo. They're my favorite manufacturer when it comes to the straps. I only recommend Bobo. I think they just put out, I think mine's the M2, but they got the M3 and they just put out the S something. So they're putting out, and the battery packs is in my opinion even better than the strap because like Brooklyn said, now you can game for 5 hours.
I played for like an hour and a half before my headset actually started using its actual battery because the pack was charging it the whole time.
Yeah,
so I get plenty of time out of it.
And you'll get
now.
2 batteries depending on the strap you buy.
Yeah. So let's look at this. This is a short by Brooklyn that you posted today, and you have these as well, right, kevgret?
No, so I didn't buy these for a variety of reasons. I won't get into it. We'll just enjoy Brooklyn's.
Pull the trigger.
These aren't perfect.
You get that rapid fire kickback. You can also switch it to a single shot.
That's really cool.
I'm about to try these out for the first time in VR. And the best game I can think of playing these with is Pistol Whip.
So you played these haptic gun stocks today. How did they do?
They did well. They did really well in Pistol Whip because in Pistol Whip, you just hold the gun in your hand. You don't really use any of the buttons except the trigger. And when you want to reload, just like in any classic light gun game in an arcade, you just move your hand down and move it back up to reload. So, but you still have access to all of the buttons. Some people did comment on that short saying, "Well, what's the point? You're not even like you're in VR and what's the point of having that? You're not even gonna know you have it." I'm like, "Yeah, you do because you feel like you're holding a gun in your hand. It's the weight, and you still feel that kickback in your hand on top of the kickback that's already in the controller. So is it going to be good for every game? No, but Pistol Whip to me is such an essential. Like it's one of those games where we talk about walkabout mini golf. I would say if you own any VR headset, Pistol Whip should be an essential. Number one, because the game is fantastic. They keep adding to it. They never charge you for anything. They add on major
What about a
amounts
game like where you're holding 2 guns? Like in Star Wars, I'm holding 2 guns at periods, but other periods I'm using my hands to do other things.
And
that's the problem. It's
that's
not
the
going to be good
problem.
for every game, but there's a lot of light gun style games in VR, and I love light gun games in general.
Part
So
of the
they're good
whole
for
game
that.
is just shooting.
And you know what? So I got the golf club attachment, which everyone got to play walkabout. I don't even put that thing on anymore because it's like a whole hassle setting it up.
Yeah, exactly.
This thing, you can put your controllers in and out of those in 5 seconds. It's like it's not like you're going through a whole process to set it up. It's so quick.
Yeah.
You know, you're done playing, the controllers come right out. They just slide in, you put a plastic piece down there.
So a couple of things real quick, Biggie. These are around $92 with the code right now on Amazon. I've seen them as low as 72, and I still passed on them. Here's 2 reasons why I didn't buy them. The first is that they're very front heavy, so your hands will get stressed. Where this isn't. This isn't front heavy. This is $12. I got 2 of these for 12, and so there's no haptics, but it just makes you feel like you're holding it. But this is the biggest reason why I didn't buy it. I game at night up primarily. Those things sound like a cannonball. My wife already hears me bouncing around in the basement with no sound. If she hears me go, those things will be against the wall.
Oh, dude, 100%. There's no way I'm ever playing those when my wife is home.
And that's the biggest reason. And you can't mute it. You can't turn them like off and let it just do its
thing. How much
thing.
were those gun stocks, Brooklyn?
They were 92. They're around $92 right now. They're 72 at its lowest.
Okay.
I got them like $69 or something.
Biggie, to your point, and all the reviewers said this, if they would sell one for like $40-$50, that would be much better, because 90% of the games out there, you don't need 2.
Yeah.
Well, think about this. Well, think about it. Then they'd have to sell a left and a right. You know.
I know.
They need to develop a game for these and include them with the game. Like you buy it in store, like
do a license thing.
Yeah, and it comes with the game, and it's like they develop the game for the gun stock.
But here's the thing: for $80 to $90 to get 2 haptic guns that work relatively well, that's a pretty good value, considering what these send-in guns go for, if we're ever going to compare it to something like that. But for me, that noise factor was a no-go. I can't even play my retro shooter up here sometimes. My wife will hear it all the way downstairs when she's watching TV. And I'm all the way in the corner, so I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, dude, I have the Raptors on the way. I already know. Like, as soon as I go to play those,
what are the Raptors?
The new version of the retro shooter.
Oh, okay.
When the Woozer box showed up today, I thought it was the Raptors.
Yeah.
But hey, it was. I'm cool, and it's perfect timing for Aliens coming out.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to now have.
That's what I wanted to talk about next to kind of wrap up the show tonight, guys. Was just games coming out or have just recently come out. Have you guys played Behemoth yet?
I played through the entire game. I absolutely loved it. Visually, one of the most stunning VR games I've ever seen in my life. I could not believe how good it looked on the PlayStation VR 2. I can't talk for how it looks on the Meta. There's absolutely no way it could look like it did on the PSVR 2 on the Meta. I mean, it was freaking insane. And you know what? I beat the game, and then 2 days after I beat it, they did a major update, and I went back in, and the combat is like 10 times better. They improved it. So this game, I could say that because it's physics-based combat, you kind of never know what kind of reaction you can get. Sometimes things get a little weird. So I did have some like weird stuff going on, and
you also played it like the first week it came out. There's been updates to it since.
I'm the number 1 VR channel in the home arcade community. You come to my channel if you want to see VR or get into it. If you know a big title's coming out, I will be there live day one.
Like day one, yeah. But you knew that there are some improvement updates already to it.
There was, dude. I went back in even though I beat the game. What's cool is it lets you can just go to anywhere you want on the map, and it also has a right now it's in beta. It just has a wave fighting area. So I went into that and was fighting, and the throwing mechanism now of your weapon is so improved. Another thing that was weird, for some reason on the PSVR 2, the blood was black, and now they fixed that too.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I felt the combat was so much better when I went in. I was doing like some badass fighting in it, that I wasn't doing when I played through it. But it was so visually stunning, and this type of environment is like right up my alley. Like this type of theme to a game. This was my most anticipated VR game. I've been waiting for this game for almost 2 years to come out. It was supposed to be out last year. It got delayed.
How
And-
I've been shopping for my VR games is I'll watch like your live streams and I'll see how much you're enjoying it, but also kind of think to myself, would I like this game? And this was one that really attracted me that I wanted to get. It's $40 right now, which is like full price. So I'm trying to work with like others to see if I can get a referral link for it, but I'm going to buy this game any day now. And I hear it's much more improved on the meta now. It's probably not going to look as good as the PSVR 2, but looks pretty good. I saw GeForce guy YouTube channel out there playing it. It looked pretty good on the meta.
He's not playing it. So he has it, but he's not playing it through meta. He plays
he's
all
got
of
the
his games
PC,
through a
right?
4090.
Yeah.
Steam.
Oh, okay. That's why
gonna,
it's looking
it's
good.
gonna look
Okay.
the best ever.
He is
Yeah.
using the meta, but that's just the headset. But he's not playing it like where it's just the game in the headset. There's absolutely no way that it can look like it did on the PSVR 2.
He did want me to mention a game tonight.
On a
It's like a
standalone.
mech warrior game.
Inter-
It's
Stellar
amazing.
game.
Please show it.
I have
I
to.
did
We
not.
all
I didn't
need-
have enough space
Well, we all
on
need
my
to get this
restream
game.
to show it.
Is it a game or a demo? I
No,
thought it was a demo.
it's been in development for a while, but right now they just did a huge update to it. It looks absolutely incredible. If you ever had a dream of controlling a giant mech and just going into battle, this is you're going to live out all your fantasies in this game. You're going
Iron
to feel like you're
Rebellion.
sitting in the
yeah,
cockpit,
that's what it is. Yep.
and it's just all out war and chaos.
Yeah, he wanted me to mention that game. He says it's amazing. He's playing it right now.
Yeah.
So that's one to check out. Also, Metro Awakening. I was kind of trying to decide, should I get Metro or should I get Behemoth? What would you pick, Brooklyn, playing both these?
I had Metro 3 days before it was released, so I had early access to it and played through the entire game live over a couple of days. Amazing game. It may scare the shit out of some people. It's pretty intense, and the enemies in this game, not only are you facing humans, but you're facing like mutated creatures from like radioactivity. But it's all around an emotional story.
I heard there's a lot of dialogue.
Hands out. There
There's
is.
some dialogue in this one.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I just thought that the way the environments of traveling in these train stations, because you can't go above ground anymore because of the radioactivity. Metro's been out forever on consoles and PCs, so people are probably aware of the series. This was their first time doing a Metro in VR. I highly enjoyed it. I couldn't believe how smart the enemies were, and it gets freaking intense. And they
So
will
if I had to
mess
choose, I got a
with you in it.
$50 gift card. I can get Metro or I can get Behemoth. Which one should I get?
I would say go with Behemoth.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Whoa, hold on. We don't know,
You're talking about getting him on a standalone Meta 3.
we don't know how it runs on.
I don't know
Quest.
how it runs.
Yeah,
on a
I
Meta.
would do some.
Both of these
so-
games are,
I think
like,
Awakenings might
crazy
be running.
graphics-wise.
Yeah, that's the problem. So
but Behemoth destroys Metro visually.
From what I'm
Visually,
hearing on the reviews, the meta reviews, like on the website, people are commenting in the last day or two saying the update really improved things
on what's on Behemoth
on the Quest. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had a day 7 patch come out. So, Biggie, I have to school you on some of these VR releases because it's hard to don't listen to Brooklyn because he'll buy everything day one. Do you know why I haven't played Behemoth and Metro yet?
Why?
Because I'm smart. And I know for a fact, Brooklyn and Biggie, that on day 3, day 4, day 5, there will be updates to this game that will make playing it obsolete until that patch. And guess what? Behemoth, they fixed the melee combat that everybody said was broken. They gave you red blood. And that's just for waiting 4 or 5 days. So I've been around this damn community for so long that if I see a game, I wait for the 3rd patch and I play the best version. And on top of that, Metro Awakenings came out less than 6 weeks ago. It's on sale for $10 off today. So my backlog is strong. I just wait for these things to hit the first wave of sales, and Awakenings is on sale for the Game Award show. I just saved $10. I bought it. So
I already have this one ready to go. Day 1, you'll see me playing it.
Now,
It was supposed to come out this month, but it got delayed to February.
No, you're delayed on the Meta. It's coming out on PSVR 2 next week.
Next week. Okay. So we're going to get to see firsthand on your channel what this game plays
you're going to see it firsthand, and this is going to be like the first big title I play now with the glued your vest on. So
yes.
Yeah.
really looking forward
Brooklyn,
to
imagine the machine guns that we're going to be able to.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Now,
all the trailers I've seen, this has been like the most impressive looking one I've seen yet. It looks really good. And just aliens in general, and like the movie that just came out, Romulus, it was really good. I just think this is going to be a banger for the VR.
Yeah. Look, Batman coming out on the meta. I beat that one too. Absolutely incredible. And these, for me, it's like, I was so happy because I know there are people that might have been even on the fence of VR, but titles like that are what bringing new people in. And then once they get it, they start to realize how much you can do with VR besides just gaming or just the social aspect of playing a game of golf, bowling, whatever.
The golf is a ton of fun. I got a clip for you guys. This was a hole-in-one that I got last Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Biggie's up.
Biggie, hole in one.
My awesome camera work. This was the most incredible hole.
Real confident.
This is me, guys.
Holy shit, did you see him?
Boom.
Look at that,
wait a
Kev.
minute.
It never
That didn't
even
bounce.
It never even bounced. It went straight into the hole.
That's a glitch right
Switch.
there. I
B button.
love it.
Just hit the B
How did that
button.
even, with all the physics in this game, how
this
did it
out.
land in there?
Yo,
And what's funny, if you listen to Retro Lizard right before I shot that, he goes, hit a hole-in-one, Biggie D.
that again.
And I did.
Now look at how
That's the
many
first
of
time
us
I've ever
are
seen
in
that
there
happen.
from the home arcade community. A bunch of
Fucking
content
swish.
creators, a bunch of
Papa
viewers
Brad,
who just all
Pixelated
in there having a
Traveler,
great time.
Retro Lizard. Like, we had a group of 8, and then we had another room of like 4 or 5 people in another
Yeah, there
room.
were too many people that there had to be an
That's
overflow
awesome.
room.
Yeah,
awesome.
we're getting more and more people playing now, and it's becoming more and more fun with the more people that play, because it's like you all
And
are
you know who were the
engaged
first?
and
It
you're
was
hanging out.
kevgret and I together.
Yeah, and it's like when you're playing the mini golf, it's like we're together at a
Yeah.
miniature golf course playing together.
So,
Close to like 300 of my VR streams ago. It was kevgret
Yeah.
and I.
so Biggie, I mean, just to put this into
Playing.
perspective, I've been doing this for almost 9 years. Brooklyn's probably got 10 or 12 years just in the VR space. Like, I've probably played 300 different VR games, experiences, and to me, it beats anything that's going out there today. Like, the reason I got into VR was because you played one Spider-Man, you played them all. You played Far Cry 6, the same map as Far Cry 7. That's not the same in VR. Even bad VR games have redeeming value of different immersion, and it's made for like quick sessions. You know, there are AAA games, but a lot of this is, hey, mini golf, will play for an hour or two. You don't have to commit to a 12-hour grind fest on a lot of this stuff. It's made for what my lifestyle is. Playing new innovative games, getting in and getting out, and the games aren't that much money, especially with what I'm about to send you later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that link you send me.
I'm
'cause
going to send
they're
you.
expensive on the MetaQuest store. You're spending $30-$40 for
I'll
every
send you a
game.
secret spreadsheet link too, that this guy has all the codes for different games. You'll see. I got you.
The prices
Nice.
are going up, but so are the quality of the game.
Yes, exactly. Like Batman. I mean, come on, that is a AAA VR game.
Yeah, we're
Bohemian?
hitting mainstream now
Yes,
in
we're-
VR,
yeah.
where you're going to start seeing the big titles, just like you see on PS5, Xbox, are going to be coming to VR, or a version of that coming to VR.
I mean, that's the hope. I mean, when PSVR first came out, the indie scene saved it. When PSVR 2 came out, the indie scene saved it. Now you have to give Sony and you have to give MetaQuest credit. These are the lowest that I've seen these headsets.
Yeah, they're the
350
killer deals right now.
And 300 with
Yeah.
300 for Batman
With a game.
and $75. Well, bro, come, like,
Yeah.
even if you have a tiny bit of knowledge that you want to play, how can you go wrong with that? You're getting a game for free, $75 for games, and a headset for $300.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
That's what
Quest is
made
trying
me
to do.
finally do it, was this Target deal that they were running with the $75 gift card and Batman. I was like, I might as well
Yeah,
give it
because
a
Batman's
shot.
$50.
And
So-
I'm so happy I did, because it's so much fun. And I'm a huge
Yeah.
gamer, and this has like become my obsession in gaming now, is VR.
I love hearing you, Biggie, talk about it, because it's like, for me, it's like hearing people play at Asteroids from back, like the first time, like seeing your eyes. And I'm like, yeah. You know, because Brooklyn and I are jaded. We've been playing this for almost a decade, but to hear you go, oh my God, I'm like, that's VR right there.
Yeah.
Getting someone in
what
and going,
I love so much
looking
about
around.
where we've come now is yeah, I've been playing VR a long time. My first VR headset was day one, the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was when you got VR, you had one sensor bar in front of you and you had an
Yeah.
Xbox controller.
Yeah,
And that's how
exactly.
you
It
played.
was
And then
Frankenstein.
we were so super excited when they came out with the hand controllers, and then you expanded to 2
Lighthouses.
sensor bars. Then you put 4 sensor bars around you, so you'd be stringing USB wires around your
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
room.
insane.
Yeah,
And all of a
this
sudden
is
they
a
come out
great
with this
time to get
inside out
into it.
tracking,
Yeah.
no more sensor bars,
Yeah.
which blew my mind.
Yep.
The standalone headsets no longer having to be connected to a PC with 50 wires. So yeah, it's come a long way from the start. But the one thing from day one, when I was my first thought in VR was, I want other people to see this, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to share it with people. So I'm so happy where we're at today. I know you can never really judge by what it's like seeing it
Yeah.
on a flat screen when I'm streaming it, but I also do think a lot of people have no idea what's out there in VR.
Yeah,
'cause
once you
they've
experience
never
the VR
experienced it before.
headset,
Yeah,
it's
it's
more
over.
fun watching the streams because
Yeah.
you now see what's going
Well,
on. Finally,
I did a
you don't
video
see it until
today.
you experience it.
I showcased a new game called Action Hero, and I put a picture in picture, and you see me running around in full scale, ducking and jumping as the game's play, and it's like you look like a complete buffoon, but I'm telling you, it's so much fun to see you do it, and then
And
people
once
see the
once you
reaction.
start watching the VR content on
Yeah.
YouTube, they start
Yeah.
sending you suggestions. There's so many channels
Oh,
out there
there's
that cover this
yes,
stuff.
yeah,
It's
Yeah, I
interesting
think-
to see it all.
I think
Yes.
Action Hero is one that you should look into, because so one of the best VR games when VR was first coming around was Super Hot, and this is doing the same gimmick in that where none of the enemies move unless you're moving.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's wild.
so I don't think you would have any issues with motion sickness or anything.
No.
You're basically
Yeah, I have to do the
No.
teleport because
Yeah. Well, you stand in place, Biggie.
Stand in
on
place
the
in
game,
this.
and so you're not moving.
Oh, okay.
You're just
But what-
moving your hands and stuff.
have played it. I didn't play it yet, but I do know about the game. But this one is, when they call it Action Hero, you're playing almost like scenes from your favorite movies.
The
They're really-
Matrix, Indiana
So,
Jones.
but you have to
nice.
kind of you
Yeah.
have to think. You have to almost plan before
a
you start
puzzle.
moving, because the second
Yes.
you start moving, the
Yeah.
enemies are attacking. So it's almost like being in the Matrix.
Yeah,
when you
check my
play.
video out. After I played that, my headset was drenched because you're just like, it's so, because you lose yourself. Like you see the bullets coming, you move. Like
yeah,
it's literally that immersive in that. And Biggie, this game is only $15 if you use a code. So $15, 5-hour game. They're adding free content. How can you not like love a game like Super Hot that's going to do it right? So
yeah,
lot
awesome.
of games like that. And I'll send you a link for a code for that too.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, to kind of wrap up tonight, guys, Brooklyn, do you have anything coming up on your channel that you want to share? I know you just said Alien. You're going to be streaming that.
Alien Thursday.
Coming up on my channel, just a lot more community streams of us either playing golf together or bowling, which
Yeah,
we've
you had
been
bowling
now
going,
getting a lot
going
into.
this weekend. We were doing premium bowling.
Yeah, last night we played again today, and I'm working on a solo show which is going to be called Reality Sucks. It's just going to be me talking about VR, and it's going to be everything from, like, if you're new to VR, some of my recommendations. It's going to be about upcoming games coming out. So that's something I'm working on. It's going to be a highly produced solo live show that I'm going to be
Beautiful.
doing.
Nice. I'm
Love
looking
it.
forward to it. I've been watching
Yeah.
a lot of your VR stuff since I got my headset, and I can't wait to watch you play Alien next week. That's going to be fun.
Brooklyn, is Alien co-op? Because your ass and I better be in there Thursday night. I'm telling you. Like, screw the story. I want co-op.
I want to do what's it called, what's the one I was supposed to play with the giant bugs.
Oh,
off-
Starship
Troopers, but it got delayed.
got
So
delayed.
when
But
that
it's
one
out on
comes
the-
out,
But
we'll
that's
come
out on the
up.
Quest, so we could with Biggie jump in there.
Yeah,
But
it's
dude, I'm
20
thinking
bucks on
this
Quest.
giant mech game. If we get a couple of us
yeah.
into that, dude, this game looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Iron
Everyone
Rebellion.
that plays it is blown away. And what's cool about it, this is one VR game where you can actually put a chair in the middle of your room, like your gaming chair, and just
Oh,
sit
no
in
way.
it
And
because
sit
you're
on it?
sitting in the mech.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you got all the
Nice.
switches inside of it that, turning stuff on, and then you got your hands, and your hands are controlling the giant arms of the mechs, like weapons and things like that.
Yeah, that's the one GeForce guy wanted us to mention tonight. He says it's the best VR game out right
Yeah,
now.
he mentioned us on a post Brooklyn and play that. So I got it's on my radar. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
kevgret, what do you have coming up or anything you want to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do some Silver Strike gameplay live game this week.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I had so much fun playing that. I'm gonna try 250. I want to get to 250 this week.
And
I'm
you have
also
putt-putt too, right?
I have Power Putt, which I think I played, and then I went over to Silver Strike one night. I have all of them in one: putt, Silver Strike, bags, and target toss, all in one unit.
Nice.
So Silver Strike seems to be that game is so much fun. I'm also sitting on some Atari VCS content that I want to put together. I'm only 6 away apparently from 1,000.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that. So, how
Oh,
long have
6
you had
years
your
later.
YouTube channel, kevgret?
I am
It's
hitting
1976.
it says Pac-Man came out. No, I am literally hitting my 3-year anniversary next week. 3 years since and quick story. So you stream with Rexer, you get into trouble, as you guys know. Rexer and I, we speak our mind. We got into a little tiff with Endless One Up back in the day about wood. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I do.
And it was around the time I made my first video, and it was when I was 60 pounds heavier. I got my fat face sitting on the screen. And my first video ever, I made a mod on the Partycade or on the Partycade, and all I did was put felt because it was hurting my hands, right? And Endless One Up pulls it up and he goes, "Look at this garbage. He put felt on a Partycade," and that video got like 3,000 views, and I was just like, "This is hilarious! It's a horrible video," and it's 3 years ago next week that I did that.
Yeah,
and,
so I'm looking at your channel right now. You got 994 subscribers, so you're 6 away.
So 3
Hopefully,
years.
there's some people watching tonight or rewatching the stream that can subscribe to kevgret and get him over 1,000 because it's been a long road for you to get to 1,000.
Yeah. So there was a time where I would
I'm trying to get to 2,000.
I tried to make it a priority to do like a video a week, Biggie in Brooklyn, and just to keep it going. But to be honest, I don't. There were some passion problems lately. Like this community is wacky. Like I just didn't feel like making a lot of content over the last like 5-6 months, and it hurt the channel, whatever. Because I only do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And when you have to sit down and go, "Oh, I have to do something this week. What do I?" That's when it's forced. So like it could be me watching Evil
you want to do stuff that you enjoy and that you want to do.
Passionate and comes through. Like when I did this action hero video, or if I did a video on the gun stocks, that's what I'm passionate about. And here's the thing. I don't get sent to me 89 products a year that I can just showcase and get views off of that because that's disingenuous. I wouldn't do that. So that's why, and I don't buy subs. I don't.
Well, you're only 5 away now.
5.
So you're almost there.
Okay, we're not leaving until I get 5 subs.
Well, I did put your link in the chat, guys. So definitely go check him out. Give him a sub. Let's get him over 1,000 because he's right there. And
and more important than that, could I mention one other thing, Big Guy? I'm also part of a show called the Evercadians with Papa Brad and Herb Wars. So if you are into the Evercade, come check that out when we pop up and do shows.
Brad can show his full set off. Biggie got a full set of cartridges now. He's joined the elite few that have all 65, 70 cartridges.
And I still have my show, the Friday night arcade show, but I look at it like
come back.
I don't need to. I like to rest things,
Yeah, I hear you.
Like I feel like a lot of times when you're just doing stuff all the time, I know consistency on YouTube is like what people like. But I also think like I don't need to be out there doing the show consistently. It's good to rest it once in a while, come back fresh.
How can they miss you if you don't go away?
And it's weird. Like in the home arcade community, we all talk about games, but then on my show, when I get to the part where we are actually challenging ourselves and playing games and I try to make it fun, everybody leaves. Like nobody wants to watch people playing games. They just want to talk about it and what's the next product.
In our defense, by the time you get to playing games, it's 2:30 Eastern time.
That's true. Because I always promise myself I'm gonna keep the show until like an hour and a half, and then I don't shut up.
Oh, I love it.
This has been fun, guys. I'm glad you came on, kevgret. This has been your first time on. It's been a ton of fun getting this discussion in tonight. And then
I appreciate it.
Brooklyn Menace, we stay in contact. We've been doing a lot of VR lately. It's been great having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'll see everyone next Sunday. We'll be back. Hopefully I can get some videos out during the week. And you guys stay tuned, and I'll see everyone in the next one.
Thanks, chat.
Talk to y'all
Thanks, Biggie.
later. Bye-bye.